Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome.
Welcome to FIFA Fridays.
oh, oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, what a week. I don't even know where do I start. Since last Saturday, oh yeah, just 24 hours after the last FIFA Friday, I've been itching to get back up here to speak with you guys. I've been craving, scratching at my wrist and my forearm, itching. I've seen everybody go at me this week. I also saw everybody stick with me as well. I didn't expect that much love from last week. And honestly, with the amount of hate that I've received for doing that, for being courageous enough to get up on this platform and do something that I've never done before, that genuinely meant the world to me. So before I even get into everything today, before I even dive into everything that happened and what new stuff that I found out and this, that, and the third, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I genuinely appreciate you guys. The drones do not like that. Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna call the Stephanie White drones, we're gonna call them the Steph White drones. The people who don't criticize her, that thinks that she can't do nothing wrong. And let me also drop a little quick disclaimer before I get into my intro, right? Let me make this clear that I have no personal problem with Stephanie White. Yeah, a lot of people got the lines distorted and they think like I hate Stephanie White. No. I actually think Stephanie White is an amazing human being. But my problem is we don't need just amazing human beings around us. We need people that can do their job. Okay, this is not therapy. This is business. This is sports. And a part of sports is criticism, which quite frankly, I only deal with in the WNBA where that becomes a problem. I cover the NBA as well, and I never deal with that. No matter who I criticize, it's okay. Nobody is above criticism, right? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into it. So, Stephanie White allegedly went crazy. And you probably wondering, Venom, what you mean Steph White went crazy? Well, I have some rumors. I'm not going to get into the evidence and stuff yet. Let me just address my opinions and the rumors. There's a burner account going around right now. Shout out to C-Easy. There's a burner account going around right now, right? Saying things along the lines of, hey, there's a meeting between Steve Simon. If y'all didn't know, Steve Simon is the son of Herb Simon, who owns the Pacers. Sports and entertainment, something along those lines, right? He's basically the owner of the Fever. And a lot of people do not know that Steve Simon is actually an owner of the Fever. So when I seen that comment, and it was from Live Sports Wire comment section, shout out to Live Sports Wire for saying that as well. Oh my gosh, we got donos coming in early.
This is in honor of my 70th birthday yesterday. You were highlighted on other platforms like Livewire Sports and John the Liquidator. Well-deserved recognition.
Dwarf Clone coming in with the early bomb. Oh my gosh, Dwarf Clone, happy birthday, Dwarf. The legend in the Venom community. C-Easy as well. Appreciate you so much.
Oh my god!
Who the hell?
Let's keep it real. We love you, Venom. You are a delight to watch and we always look forward to your videos.
Jerry with the 222.22. So, Jerry on fire. Is it my birthday? Hold on, chat. I know we got to get into a lot of things today, but what an introduction. Oh my goodness. Jerry also holds the record. Jerry could have one-upped his record, actually, but Jerry chose to leave the spot for someone else. Shout out to Jerry. I love you so much, Jerry. I appreciate you. Oh my gosh. All right, chat. Let's get back into it because you guys are not here just to hear me talk about Super Chats. Y'all want to know what's going on in the mind of Venom, right? So let's talk about it. So, going on to Steve Simon, they talked about an alleged meeting. This is an alleged meeting, right? Steve Simon, Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox, and Stephanie White called them into the office and said, I don't care if this is not how you want to do things. We're going Caitlyn's way now, right? So Stephanie White allegedly went crazy in that interview, right? In that meeting and lost her mind. And Steve Simon allegedly said, you don't have to like it. That's just the way it is. Yep. You don't have to like it, but that's just the way it is. We'll wait till the season starts to see how that looks. And if we see instant Caitlin Clark basketball, we will know that this meeting definitely happened. But let's jump straight into it, okay? So I just wanted to highlight this, guys. Yeah. If you didn't know, I just drank a smoothie, my fault. If you guys didn't know, I set a trap for the Indiana Fever. I set a trap. Look at your screen, guys. Look at the timestamp. October 18th, 5:07. Hold on, Jerry. I don't want to get you in on this. October 18th, 5:07 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. Venom tweeted, "Don't be surprised if a player, reporter, or someone directly tied to the team tries to discredit what I'm saying." So, I was like, okay, cool, Venom, right? But there's a reason. Y'all probably like, why you type that? There's a reason why I typed all of this on Twitter. And I chose, if you could look at the top of your screen where it says Venomites, I chose to post this specifically in my community, right? And I elected to not share it with my followers. So there's proof of the timestamp showing the correct prediction 48 hours before. How would I know this 48 hours before? Let's move on. Now, why did I purposely tweet this on Saturday? I did this to show you the timestamps. Yes, I did. I didn't want to share it with my followers. I didn't want to give nobody the upper hand. I didn't want it on anyone's timeline, on the front office, or anybody working with the organization. I know nobody's watching my community, and I can choose to not share it with my followers, but the timestamp is there. You can go to my Twitter right now, look at my community. You will see this there right now, right? I'm pretty sure right now, after this, you will look. That won't say 100 views no more. You're going to see a bunch of people go, and yes. Now let's move on, right? Stephanie White lost the game she didn't even know she was playing. And y'all probably like, what you mean, Venom? We're going to get into it. The evidence game, which I'll bring you to this. So on October 18, 2025, just a day after the FIFA Friday at 5 p.m., I posted, "Don't be surprised if a player, reporter, or someone directly tied to the team tries to discredit what I'm saying. In my opinion, they've done this a lot, right? And soon enough, a player, a reporter, or someone directly tied to the team comes out with an interview." A teaser of an interview. And on October, hold on, let me hide the sub count so I can have everything up here and it don't hide the text. On October 20th at 1:46 p.m., just 2 days after I posted that tweet, they come out with theirs. How did Venom call this? Venom, how did you know? Let's continue. Chloe says, "We touch on a lot of things over 40 minutes with Stephanie White, including her thoughts on the 2025 season, Caitlin Clark's recovery, the CBA, and her off-season plans. Tune in on Wednesday," right? So, as I predicted, 2 days later, as you can see, why would I randomly post that this was coming? Is that not coincidental? That was very Venom. How did you know that? Let's move on, though. It gets even better, right? So usually in the business world, when you drop a trailer or a teaser, you don't really drop two teasers in one day, right? You don't really drop two trailers in one day, right? Like, you kind of let the hype build up, maybe drop one tomorrow. You don't really drop two in a day, chat, right? We can agree with that. So after 1:46 p.m., when I got wind that, oh my gosh, they posted this, guess what I did? Now we're playing the game. Venom goes back and says, "I expect them to, 1, sell the injury hard, 2, talk about the coach and Caitlin's relationship, and 3, sell us another big picture for the offense like they did last year." So I posted this at 2:17 p.m. after they just posted at 1:46 p.m. Guess what happened 4 hours later? You wouldn't believe it. They caught wind of it, allegedly. And Chloe Peterson posts again, saying Caitlin Clark is on track towards her goal of starting 5-on-5 by the end of October, Stephanie White says. She's building up towards it, starting with 2-on-2 and 3-on-3. So, now we're going to address the 5-on-5 and everything, right? But at 6:38 p.m., just 4 hours after I posted my tweet, Chloe Peterson posted another tweet. Is that not suspicious to you guys? Does this not look like damage control to you guys? Let's continue, though, Venom. Maybe you're just being a conspiracy theorist, right? Okay. Let's continue real quick. So this right here is Stephanie White admitting to taking a back seat to when the job got hard. We all know this, right? But before we even get into that, I just want to give a little conclusion to me calling this out. I just want to say this, right? Men lie because a lot of people want to go at Venom, but they don't want to look at what Venom is presenting, right? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Why would I say sell the injury and not just sell the injury? I mean, sell the injury hard and not just sell the injury. Look at my tweet one more time, chat, please. Look at what I'm saying. Sell the injury hard. I didn't just say sell the injury. No, I said sell the injury hard, right? And then you go and look at this final one right here. Hold on, let's go back and look at it. You look at this one. Caitlin Clark is on track towards her goal of starting 5-on-5 by the end of October. Oh, by the way, Sophie Cunningham said Caitlin was close in August. Yeah, we'll get into everything. I promise you. Trust me, y'all. Y'all know I'm going to come with my stuff together, right? So, Stephanie White, Kelly Crosscall, Amber Cox, everyone a part of the front office, a part of this coaching staff, everyone above Caitlin, right? How is it that you couldn't differentiate a week or two, because that's about all they had since that Sophie Cunningham injury, right? Or let's say a month. How is it you can't differentiate a month between 3 months? You can't tell a timeline. You didn't know that Caitlyn wouldn't be cleared for the playoffs, so you dangled her and let fans continue to buy tickets. You dangled everything just to squeeze the fans out of every last dollar they got. Caitlyn is just now playing 5-on-5. She was never coming back then, was she? It's given that y'all shut her down, right? But we're not even going to address that too much. Let's talk about this. Like I said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Why would I say sell the injury hard and not just sell the injury, right? Okay, why did I have to add the word hard in there? And in just 4 hours, they came out again, and you see how hard they sold the injury, saying she hasn't even been playing 5-on-5 yet. Khloe couldn't even wait for the video to post, the interview to come out. She made another post 4 hours later after I posted, just announcing what they'll be going over. I posted this because I knew we'd be right here on Friday with all of them writing out poems. I lured them to this moment just for all of y'all to see. The season ended weeks ago. What are the odds that when I posted this, they came out with an emergency podcast? Weeks after the season ended at that. They had all the time to do this podcast in Indy weeks ago, right? If this was scheduled, right? They couldn't even do it in Indiana. Why? Because in my opinion, this was an emergency podcast caused by Venom to quiet down the noise that I have created by making people aware to what's really going on and affirming the suspicions of others who are privy to a lot of this information that I just wasn't paying attention to during the season. This is beautiful to me considering it shows we are finally being heard and they're becoming uncomfortable. I want to ask you guys this. How could I have correctly predicted something like this 2 days before it hit the internet? 2 days before anybody knew anything about it. Am I a time traveler, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Am I a great guesser? Do I have sources? I don't know. But these are my opinions, and I'm here providing everything for you guys to show how I have formulated my opinions. Let's move on, okay? If Caitlyn Clark is just returning to 5v5 play, what does that say about the Fever franchise? Let's say Stephanie White is saying that that's true, right? That means she's also admitting that the Fever led on the fans to milk them for everything that they could get. And that's a fact, right? Right? That's a fact. But anyways, Steph says she let Sid Colson draw plays, this, that, and the third, which we'll get into. Y'all won't believe what Stephanie White was saying in the interview. Let's just jump into it. We ain't gonna do too much talking. So look right here. Stephanie White admits to taking a backseat when a job got hard. If you guys know Caitlyn Clark is one thing for sure, two things for certain. When a job gets hard, Caitlyn Clark will never back down. She never backs down. In fact, she actually elevates. I always say people normally rise to the occasion when the lights get brighter or they plateau. So Stephanie White admitting to taking a backseat when a job gets hard is something Caitlyn Clark is not familiar with, which is why Stephanie White is trying to confine Caitlyn Clark to a situation that suits her. Stephanie White, when the job gets hard for you, you take a backseat. When the job gets hard for Caitlyn, she steps up. That's the difference between you two. Okay? Well, let's hear what she got to say since I'm all allegations, right?
And I was allowed to at times lead from the side, and our coaching staff would take it and run with it and lift me up. And not everyone is has the ability and is surrounded by the people that do that.
Oh my Lord. Not everybody. No, Stephanie White. Everybody's surrounded by coaching staffs who could step up. Any coach could give you what they will coach with best. But you taking a backseat consistently, which Scott Agnes even saw, is something that you don't see a lot in coaches, Stephanie White. If this job is not for you, girl, please just take a break. Retire. Do what you got to do, Steph. Nobody is forcing you to do this. Okay? You're not handcuffed by any means. You chose to coach in Indiana. You chose to be a coach. Stephanie White, a part of that job description is times get tough, girl. Okay? And this is not a personal attack on you. I think you're a great human being. I just think that you're not the coach that Caitlyn Clark needs. Y'all don't agree on a philosophical level. And that's okay. Okay? Y'all can agree to disagree and go separate ways. But you wanted to build around Kelsey Mitchell, which we'll get into. You wanted to... It's kind of like you're huddling everybody else and looking at Caitlyn Clark over the shoulder like this while she's outside the circle, and you're giving everybody in the circle love, so you bigging them up, and they're like, Steph, you're the best. Steph, you're the best. And it's making you look like you're a great coach for everyone, when in fact, you're a great coach for everyone but Caitlyn Clark, in my opinion. But let's hear this.
And I was allowed to, at times, lead from the side. And our coaching staff would take it and run with it and lift me up. And not everyone is has the ability and is surrounded by the people that do that. And I'm very fortunate that I am. And I think I've told you guys a number of times, it's like I feel like we have 3 head coaches on our staff at any moment. If there, one can lead us and we can step back. And it's unique.
Hey, Steph White, by the way, if I was your assistant coach, I wouldn't be going for that. I'm going to be honest. Hey, me playing a head coach job for you and you getting the credit, right? Because they say Steph White took the team there. The Steph White did this. Steph White did that. Steph, you're letting yourself take all the credit, but now you're coming on the interview and exposing what it really is, right? If I was your assistant coach, I wouldn't be doing that. I'm not even getting paid head coach money. I'm getting paid assistant coach money. Y'all ever worked at a job at a 9 to 5 and your boss had you doing things that wasn't a part of your job description? I'm sorry, boss. You're going to have to pay me a little more for that. I'm capable of doing it, but I'm not doing it for free. No. See, that's the difference between us.
And I was thankful for that, no doubt, because there were moments where it got really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing for them when it got hard for them, and when it got hard for our players. And you could see it in our huddles. The players that were leading, that were playing, the players that were leading, that were injured. You know, the hand in the clipboard to Sid Colson and letting her draw up some things.
Hand in the clipboard to who?
Were injured.
Hold
The
on.
hand in the clipboard to Sid Colson and letting her draw up some things.
Hey, everybody know I love me some Sid Colson, right? Stephanie White, let me make this clear. Hold on. No, I must be dreaming. I must be hearing things. So, Stephanie White, you were handing a clipboard to Sydney Colson to draw up plays for the Indiana Fever, the biggest team in America, to win games. Okay.
You know, that's the type of team that we have and that we had, and the type of culture that we want. It's collective. It's collaborative.
Oh no, I don't think that's a culture we want. Unless you speak in French when you say we, but
I believe that leadership is collaborative.
Oh my gosh. I believe. Wait, Stephanie White, did you just say you think leadership is collaborative? Hold on, I don't think we heard you right there, my good sister.
And that we had, and the type of culture that we want. It's collective. It's collaborative. I believe that leadership is collaborative.
Wow. Wow, Stephanie White, we're learning more about you by the day.
I believe that leadership is collaborative. And I thought our team really embodied that.
So Stephanie White says, it just keeps going and it keeps going, right? She says, I believe leadership is collaborative. So let me get this straight, right? Steph says she let Sydney Colson draw up the plays, right? Guys, I want to hear the drones on this too. So she says she let Sydney Colson draw up the plays, right? She trusts Sydney Colson to run the offense, right? And draw up a play and control it, right? She fights Caitlin Clark on how she plays though, right? And she lets Sydney Colson draw up plays. And then she also says she believes leadership is collaborative, proving once again she doesn't believe in heliocentricity with anything in life. She talks building around Kelsey Mitchell and how Kelsey Mitchell's priority number one as well, which you will hear. But it's like, Steph, you openly already said you take a step back when the job gets too hard, right? Now you're saying you think leadership is collaborative. Stephanie White, unfortunately, Caitlin Clark doesn't collaborate with leadership. No. And that doesn't mean she's selfish. She's going to definitely share the ball. But Caitlin Clark shoulders the load for the whole team. Give me the ball and trust me so you don't have to control the offense. You don't have to worry about turnovers. Give all your problems to me. That's Caitlin Clark for you. You have literally a walking, I wouldn't even call her like a sanitation worker, but Caitlin Clark is damn near a sanitation Clark. She's going to take out all your trash for you, and you will have a clean house. All you got to do is open the door when she comes in. When Caitlin knocks, just let her come in. She's going to do her job. Just trust her to do her job. She's done it before. She got a good track record. She's never left dirt anywhere she's been at, right? She cleans up everything, right? So why are you saying leadership is collaborative? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't make sense. Stephanie White, because you operate in life like that does not mean that Caitlin Clark operates like that. And it's a reason, Stephanie White, you were never as big as Caitlin Clark, no offense. It's a reason why the Sue Birds, all the big names you know before, were never nearly as big as Caitlin Clark, because Caitlin Clark is a leader. Caitlin Clark is a sole leader. She doesn't need no collaboration when it comes to leadership. She makes everyone around her successful. She is a leader. Let's listen up.
How badly do you
And right here, Stephanie White wants to build around Kelsey Mitchell and says she's priority number one.
want to keep her around?
I mean, yeah, she was the number one priority a year ago, and she's the number one priority this year. She's been so important. And,
right.
And
by the way, Kelsey Mitchell, outstanding play. I love Kelsey Mitchell so much. Y'all know how I feel about Kelsey Mitchell. I got a whole sound for Kelsey Mitchell, and I love Money Mitch. Y'all know that. But what I will not agree with and stick around for is like Kelsey Mitchell is the priority number one. No, Caitlin Clark is priority number one. The minute that girl came through the doors, you knew what it was, right? And listen, I would love to have the best backcourt of all time, right? Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark. But do not start drama between them to separate and make them choose. Stephanie White is trying to do that. Bigging up Kelsey Mitchell without including Caitlin Clark, right? So when she talks about how good Kelsey Mitchell is, she doesn't bring Caitlin Clark up. She barely brings anybody up. But anytime Stephanie White is seen mentioning Caitlin Clark, in my opinion, she's constantly bringing up other players. Yeah, the team, Caitlin did well, but the team did well as Sue did well too. Like Sue Bird used to do in the past. Like you see these girls doing in the past. Like she always has to bring in other people when it comes to just giving Caitlin Clark her flowers. Oh, it's just a streak. Oh yeah, she carried us in the first half. You know, the rest of the team carried us in the second half. Like, Stephanie White, when will you ever just sit down and give Caitlin Clark her flowers? You're acting like people act like we up here saying mean and negative stuff when we're really just saying, Stephanie White, do your job properly. Just be a good person to Caitlin Clark and not on a personal level, on a basketball level. You know, meet on a middle ground, something.
Last year, you know, Kelsey deserves to go through this stage of her Indiana Fever career.
Why does Kelsey deserve? Because you don't deserve anything in this league. Everything is earned. But why does Kelsey Mitchell deserve anything?
Been through sort of the worst of the worst, you know, for lack of a better term.
So because she went through the dark years in Indiana as the number one option, she deserves to be the number one option when Caitlin, a real number one option, comes in now? Stephanie White, so you're saying it's not about basketball. It's not about talent. It's not about a better fit. It's about, oh, Kelsey Mitchell struggled longer, so we got to make sure she eats first. That's what it's looking like, chat, right or wrong. It's looking very unprofessional.
In and out of the building.
Like, what the relevancy?
Growing pains with getting the organization back.
What is the relevancy?
You know, you don't get back-to-back number one picks unless you've been at the bottom for a while, right? And she showed up like a pro every day, and she just continues to work and continues to grow, and she carried the franchise, and she carries the teams in different ways, and she deserves the opportunity to do that. I mean, it's close to home.
Now it's close to home. Oh my God. How is this girl my head coach? How is this girl the head coach of my team? How is this girl? Oh my Lord. Oh my gosh. I can't believe she's up here freely saying this with no consequences. This is genuinely no. This is a big problem.
Showed up like a pro every day, and she just continues to work and continues to grow, and
This is something you salute somebody over a dinner table for. Not when you're talking about the trajectory of someone's season. You're literally openly saying you're giving Kelsey Mitchell this green light because of how much she struggled with the team, because of how many years she thugged it out, how many years she did this. Indiana is close to home for her. Who cares where Kelsey Mitchell lives? I don't care where Caitlin Clark lives. I don't care where nobody lives. Nobody cares where I live. It's about who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care about these things. Obviously, off the court we do, but we're talking about on the court. You think I cared if Caitlin came from China or she came from Jamaica? I don't care where she came from. She could shoot logo threes and she looks good doing it. She could pass the hell out of the ball and looks good doing it. So I don't care where someone comes from. I don't assess someone. Imagine me saying I love Lexi Hole because Lexi Hole she dives for the ball and she's from Amsterdam. Like, bro, what? Nobody cares about where you're from.
She carried the franchise, and she carries the teams in different ways. And she deserves the opportunity to do that. I mean, it's close to home, you know, for her.
I can't believe this.
We love her. We want to continue to build, you know, around her and continue for her to have success. You know, I thought she was so instrumental in everything that we did.
Yep, she was though.
You lose everybody that we lost, and Kelsey Mitchell just kept getting better and better.
She did.
And better as the year progressed. And
shout out Money Mitch.
You know, I think that while it's hard to believe she's 8 years or whatever in this league, that there's still so much in her.
Okay,
and
get to it, Stephanie.
I tell her every day, like, I love being her coach, and I want to continue to be her coach for as long as she'll be a member of the Indiana Fever. And
so, Stephanie White, you're giving Kelsey Mitchell all this prop and praise. By the way, you've never done this for Caitlin Clark, even in that 32, 8, and 9 triple-double game she had with 2 blocks and a steal. We didn't even hear half of this for Caitlin. We never heard you say you would love to be Caitlin's coach as long as she stays in Indiana. We don't hear none of these things publicly, right? We don't hear none of these things. But listen, Stephanie White.
And yes, she is absolutely the number one priority.
Wow, she's absolutely the #1 priority. Okay.
You know, I
Just
often
listen, y'all.
say, and I say this to my own children, like, it's not hard to not be a jerk.
Mhm.
Like, and people go out of their way
Wow.
to be jerks.
Wow. Whoa. I didn't expect name calling Stephanie White. Hold on. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Well, Stephanie White, I didn't expect name calling from you, but I won't call you out your name, okay? I'm going to be honest. I'm bigger than that. I'm not here to personally attack you. I'm here to professionally criticize your wrongful actions, in my opinion. It's not hard to be a jerk, right? But people go out of their way to be jerks, Stephanie White says, right? But guess what, Stephanie? It's not hard to be Caitlin Clark's coach if you don't agree with how she plays. Yet people go out of their ways to be Caitlin Clark's coach even if they don't agree with how she plays. You see how that table just flipped? I'm feeling like I'm in the WWE. Let's move on though, okay?
Like when I talk to people,
Anyways, Caitlin compares her college teammates to her current teammates since joining the league. There's a lot in this clip that is telling. Please listen closely to what Caitlin Clark has to say. Having structure. You know, she's talking about having structure and there being a clear understanding of roles amongst players.
about it, I like joke like she brainwashed people, not like actually, but
She's
like
talking about Lisa
No,
Lisa
you're right,
Bluder.
it is a
we're
little
like
bit of it.
brainwashed into like,
Yeah.
okay, if you drive here, like you're going here and you're going here, and like even now at the professional level, I'm like, how do people not know like where to move? Like it blows my mind
Yeah.
still. Like it blows my mind
Mhm.
Yeah.
still. Like, but
And then look, she said it blows my mind still. So I wrote still. Like currently still? Like under Stephanie White, not Lisa Bluder still? We hear you, Caitlin. I promise you, we hear you. We hear what you're saying. Because let me tell you one thing about Caitlin Clark. People like to say, oh, he's doing body language. He's doing this. Anybody who's watched Caitlin Clark, I'm about to be 2 years in. Anybody who's watched Caitlin Clark, and I'm pretty sure y'all know this at like the back of y'all hand. Because y'all been watching twice, if not 4 times as long of Caitlin Clark than I did, right? Y'all know Caitlin Clark leaves breadcrumbs in the way she talks. When she talks in public interviews and stuff like that, she always leaves little stuff that she knows her fans will be able to digest. So obviously, when Caitlin Clark says even still, she didn't have to say still. The point is players not understanding where they have to be on the court, and she be, you know, dumbfounded when she understands people doesn't know where to be. But she said still, meaning right now still. She didn't have to say still, right?
I think it just makes me like really appreciative of like what Coach Bluder was able to do when we were at Iowa. Like
And now she's talking about history. So she said still. Now she's going back to when she didn't appreciate what she had. You know what they always say? You never appreciate what you have until you lose it. Yeah, which means she doesn't have that anymore. She doesn't have a coach that understands that part of the game, that understands how to speak to the players and know that there's a hierarchy system. You know, the only thing that she bragged about, let's listen.
she was so smart. She was able to like construct a team and make sure everyone always knew what they were going to do, whether you were the smartest basketball player on the team or you weren't.
Yep.
Like you were always on the same page with your teammates.
Yep. The only thing is when she bragged about how good her teammates' spacing and offensive rotation skills were, she made sure to attribute those good things and those good skills for such good understandings on the court to Lisa Bluder, right? She made sure to credit Lisa Bluder for all the good spacing and stuff that happened at Iowa. But she did mention how bad it is at the pro level. Remember when she said still? But she left out who was accountable for such bad spacing and poor rotation surrounding her, which is literally her coach. She's playing with way better talent than she ever had at Iowa. But that Iowa team would run laps around this Fever team simply because they had a coach in Lisa Bluder who made sure everyone knew their hierarchy system and played their roles perfectly. Now that's good coaching. Alexi Hole, someone who knows their role, would fit perfectly at Iowa. You need people who are going to get the ball and get it to Caitlin, and Caitlin is going to get it back to them or take a logo shot and hit it successfully. Let Caitlin Clark be in a rhythm. Like, we haven't had one full 4-quarter game, in my opinion, that Caitlin Clark played Caitlin Clark style basketball with no interruptions, not one play with a coach getting in between. I'm talking about wire to wire, straight CC basketball. And this is what we got so far. WNBA All First Team, Rookie of the Year, all these awards she's breaking, and she's not even playing her style yet. Wait till she gets to play her style. And with that meeting, or that alleged meeting, I hope things will change. All right, so obviously, let's look at this clip, right? Caitlin is visibly irritated with Steph White's coaching, and a lot of people have not seen this footage. A lot of people have not seen this footage, right? As it's on the internet, though. It's not like no private, but a lot of people haven't seen this footage. And quite frankly, Caitlin might be the first superstar to have to beg her coach to let her help the team. Like, it's not like this girl wants the ball to just take all the shots. No, she's literally saying, get me the ball so I can get you the ball to score with an advantage being created by my gravity. It's that simple. Look at this. Look at her. You can see her clearly pointing at Stephanie White at the huddle. She doesn't agree with what Stephanie White is talking about or the direction that they're trying to go in. Look at this. can clearly see she's bothered. She's like, what is this? Like, look, one more
Page
time.
with your teammates.
You see her point her hand? Look at that. You see Caitlin Clark's hand is pointed right at the coach. Literally pointed at Stephanie White that's in the huddle. Why is Caitlin Clark having to do this in the middle of a game? By the way, y'all, this is the same exact game where she had that feud at halftime where I said I saw the exclusive footage that I'm not allowed to share, which I don't know why people think I'm lying about that. Why would I ever lie about something like that? I seen the footage, right? Caitlin Clark, and I heard what they were talking about in the locker room. Caitlin Clark is pointing at Stephanie White. This is the same exact game. She didn't like what they were doing in the first half, which is why you saw them drop a historic second half, scoring 59 points, which I think is a franchise record. But anyway, let's talk about that. Look at her attitude, man. Look at her body language. You see Austin Kelly trying. He's trying to get her level-headed. Caitlin is clearly pissed off right now. Austin Kelly, an assistant coach, wonderful man, in my opinion, is coming to the side and literally trying to draw up something maybe for Caitlin. I don't know what he's doing, but it looks like he's trying to draw up something for Caitlin. Like, okay, if this don't work with Stephanie White, we'll go with this. We'll go with your way. I know you like to run it this way. Like, this is maybe what it's looking like, you know, because Caitlin is clearly paying attention to it. But look at this. And look, now her and Brianne January is now getting into it. With Brianne January, I don't know really how to feel about Brianne. I'm not going to like talk about her personally, but Brianne January is very handsy. I've watched that throughout the season. She has a hard time keeping her hands off the players, and you know, like she's just having a bad track record. And it's like, I don't know if she knows what she's doing, because you know, with like older women as well, they kind of like, they're handsy. Like that's how they grew up as well. Like, you know, kiss on the cheeks and stuff. Like, but look at her. She's clearly like irritated right now. Look at Caitlin Clark snapping at Bri January. I don't know if she's disagreeing or agreeing, but clearly she's away from Stephanie White, away from the huddle. As you can see on the top left of your screen, it took Sydney. Sydney can hear everything. Sydney has her back turned, but Sydney Colson hears everything they're talking about, right? So, like I said, it took Sydney Colson plus 2 assistant coaches to get Caitlin Clark to the Stephanie White huddle. Is this not questionable? A clear sign of philosophical conflictions, despite what Venom says and what Venom thinks. Is this, how can you watch this clip and tell us that Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark is on the same page? They have no problems together and this, that, and the third, at least on a basketball level, not on a personal level. I think their personal relationship is great, but the way they view the game is too, it couldn't be any further. It's a night and day difference, right? So look at Sydney Colson turn around and she's like, come on, Caitlin, get inside the huddle. Like, you know, like look at Sydney Colson. She's pointing like, come on. And now Caitlin, and you know, shout out to Sydney Colson, because that's what a veteran does. Sydney's like, Caitlin, I understand, but let's get you to the huddle. We need you to win this game, right? Professional by Sydney Colson. But anyways, chat, this is what I'm saying.
I think.
Look at this right here. Did you guys know that Caitlin Clark was injured in the preseason? And Stephanie White was running her into the ground, allowing Brianne January to make her pick up full court in the preseason, like she's on a hardship contract? Yes, you heard me right. Caitlin Clark was picking up full court in the preseason, injured. Although Caitlin said it was Brianne January getting on her, it's up to Stephanie White as the coach to let Brianne January know you don't do that to your superstars. That's what you have. The Lexi Holdsford, the Sophie Cunningham, Michaela Timpson, the Ari McDonalds. You don't have Caitlin Clark to pick up full court. Well, let's listen to what Caitlin Clark has to say and how Caitlin Clark says she's never done this before, but she'll try.
You know, it's a competitive group. Everybody wants to earn playing time. Like, we have a deep roster, and you want that competitive spirit within your team, but at the same time, I think we have a great balance of supporting one another. But when we get on the court, like, we're battling, like, we're fighting, and I think Bri January does a really good job of like emphasizing defense, and it starts on that end of the floor. And you know, even getting on me to pick up full court, I'm like, man, I'm not used to this. I don't do that, but
I don't do that.
I'll get better at it.
I heard Caitlin Clark clearly, man, I don't do this. I'm not used to that. I don't do
And it
this.
starts on that end of the floor, and you know, even getting on me to pick up full court, I'm like, man, I'm not used to this. I don't do that, but
I'm not used to this. This is coming from a generational player that never really had to pick up full court. If you look at the Iowa system, oh my God, Lisa Bluter, we'll go over that probably another time. But my goodness, they were protecting Caitlin Clark at Iowa, surrounded by dogs who knew their roles, who knew how to play hard and not allow Caitlin Clark to exert too much energy on the defensive end. What you want, Caitlin Clark to be a point of attack defender? Unless you got plans on Caitlin Clark becoming your point of attack defender, chill the hell out. This can 100% be another thing that injured Caitlin's groin. Picking up full court requires bending down, engaging your groin area. And Caitlin herself said she's not used to this. You know what else is not used to that much usage? Her body, including her groin. I'm not blaming Stephanie White for Caitlin's injury, but I'm definitely not saying she didn't attribute to it by putting too much on a girl who already has the weight of the team on her back. right? Let's move on, though. After last Friday, we debunked the Stephanie White allegations on not being a go-to person for drawing up the plays on both ends, according to Scott Agnes, at least early on in the season,
I'll
right?
get better at it, but,
Which we'll get into right now.
Yeah, I think there's just
Listen
like
to this.
When they need an offensive play, Austin Kelly will be the one drawing it up in the huddle. She's right there.
Right.
Defensively, that's where Breon January's voice is
Right.
massive.
Oh my God. So listen, guys, we should never mention Stephanie White for taking this team anywhere but the feel-good land. Let's call it the feel-good land. Why not? FGL, right? FGL White. Why not, right? Because that's what she's best at, honestly. Like, she's good at being a motivational speaker. She's not the best at drawing up plays, in my opinion. Unfortunately, Caitlin Clark doesn't need a motivational speaker. She needs a basketball coach who actually knows her X's and O's and always keeping the ball in Caitlin's hands, opening up more scoring opportunities for not just Caitlin, but the entire team. Caitlin needs structure on a philosophical level, not just a personal one. She needs structure and someone who watches her film and understands how to adapt to Caitlin Clark's game. Watching Caitlin under Stephanie White's motion offense, you will not find structure for Caitlin Clark to operate because you're just taking a heliocentric player and converting them into a role play. It just won't work out. It's like mixing oil and water. No matter how much times you use that spoon and whip it together thinking it's going to work, no matter how good you might think it look, they will always separate at the end, okay? See, I thought it was bad enough last week. This rabbit hole gets deeper the more I dug. Lisa Blue to protect the Caitlin Clark by putting her and trusting her to run the whole offense successfully, which she did while limiting Caitlin's energy being expended on the defensive end, surrounding her with great role players, and not great like on a talent level, but I mean great on a comprehensive level. They knew what the goal was in Iowa. And on the other hand, you got Stephanie White and her coaching assistants keeping the ball out of Caitlin's hands and asking way more from her on the defensive end. Like, they're showing a night and day difference between Iowa and Indiana. I think this coaching staff ran her down into the ground, in my opinion, having her overexert her energy with unnecessary wasted motion and movement, which you try to limit with superstars, you know? But anyway, Caitlin subliminally talks about how she wants to be coached, and she uses her watching from a sideline as an excuse to project exactly how she views the game from a coach's point of view. Listen to this right here. I'm surprised I missed this at first, but listen to this.
What do you think you've learned from having to watch?
What do you think you've learned from having to watch? Look at how Caitlin's face lit up. Oh my gosh, this is my time to shine. Go ahead, CC, get them, girl.
Because it is a unique perspective, and you probably, I mean, you haven't had injuries, so you haven't really had that type of perspective.
I think it like
Get
when
'em.
I was talking to Steph about this, like it's
Bring
so
up
much
Steph.
easier said than done. Like it gives you like good perspective for like it's so easy to be like, oh, like why wouldn't you pass it there? Or like why did you forget to set that screen? Or why didn't you cut? Or how did you not see this and that? Like and obviously like when I'm in the game, I'm like everything is happening so fast and I'm trying to watch so many different things and like it's so much easier to sit on the side and be like, oh, I saw this and I saw this and I saw this.
Oh my gosh. It's so easy to be on the side and be like, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. AKA Stephanie White. It's so easy to be like, why did you throw that turnover? Why did you do this? And Caitlin Clark, as you can clearly see, is trying to let Stephanie White know that, you know, she saw Dantas wasn't spaced out properly and she wanted to get the ball to Dantas cutting. And Stephanie White was talking to her. And what did you see Caitlin Clark's reaction say, y'all? Y'all seen Caitlin Clark roll her eyes. Y'all saw Caitlin Clark drag her feet and be like, oh my gosh, she's never gonna get it. Look at his face right here.
It's so easy to be like, oh, like why
Match what she's saying to Caitlin Clark's reaction.
wouldn't you pass it there? Or like why did you forget to set that screen? Or why didn't you cut? Or how did you not see this and that? Like and obviously like when I'm in the game, I'm like everything is happening so fast and I'm trying to watch so many different things and like it's so much easier to sit on the side and be like, oh, I saw this and I saw this and I saw this. Like no, like when you're actually in like the heat of things, like the coaches give us so much grace and like as teammates, like you have to give your teammates grace too of like they're trying to manage so much and see so many different things at one time, and especially as a point guard, like you're trying to manage.
Especially as a point guard, Caitlin. You could have just said anything. I thought you was generalizing it at first, right? I thought we was talking about point guards and everything, but now
Trying to manage so much and see so many different things at one time, and especially as a point guard, like you're trying to manage everything and calling the plays and running the correct stuff and
like Caitlin Clark does, right? Running the plays, calling the stuff, right?
getting everybody in the right position.
Getting everybody in the
whatever
right
it is.
position.
So you don't always realize like with how fast the game's going, like
We'll get to this at the bottom too.
So do you think you've learned more about and maybe have more understanding for your coaches
for sure.
and their frustrations?
For sure.
No, it's interesting.
Listen,
I mean, I think just for everyone.
Wait,
just
so
for everyone. Just for everyone. She literally had a...
do you think you've learned more about and maybe have more understanding for your coaches
For sure.
and their frustrations?
For sure.
No, it's interesting.
I mean, I think just for everyone. Like,
Just for everyone. So Sue Bird asked if she sees her coaches' frustrations, right, for the coaches. And Caitlin said, for sure. But she made sure to say, for everyone. Because the point of what the message she's trying to say right now is this is not for me to talk about coaches getting grades and stuff. No, this is for coaches to understand. My coach to understand. This is how you should see the game. It's easy to say, oh, you should have did that. Understand where it comes from a player. She's dissecting stuff in real time. Do I have to talk about Julie Van Loo again? Julie Van Loo talking about how she sees, how she like is, perplexed. Like she's just surprised at how Caitlin Clark can see the court in real time and how she sees advantages in real time. How she dribbles with her head up. Like Caitlin Clark does all these amazing things. And you got to understand how calculated risk it adjusts as time goes on. Everybody who anybody who play basketball, when you're playmaking in the first quarter versus the fourth quarter is two completely different kind of point guards. Because by the first quarter, you get to see what kind of defense you got. I can make those kind of passes. We got the defense don't really have long arms out there today, like versus when we played against this team. You adjust as the game go on, but to know how to adjust, you need the ball in your hands. You need to make those early mistakes, those early turnovers to be like, okay, I'm not going to do that in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to do that there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You have counters, but you can't have counters if you're not even getting the ball to begin with. You got Caitlin running off ball in this, that, and the third. By the time the third quarter, fourth quarter comes, she's out of rhythm. She don't even know what to do herself because she's not used to this. Caitlin is used to the ball being in her hands. She knows what to do. And anybody who playmake knows this is a fact of what I'm saying. Your playmaking develops as the game goes on. You know what kind of risks and what risks you can and can't take anymore. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's move.
No, that makes
from
sense.
all different perspectives.
From all different perspectives. Sue Bird tried to criticize, like single out over. And look at how Sue Bird did it. She did it smooth. This is not an attack on Sue Bird or anything. But look at how Sue Bird tried to laugh in there. Do you understand the coach's frustration now, Caitlin? I wouldn't be...
Sure.
No, that's interesting.
I mean, I think just for everyone.
For everyone.
Wait, so do you think you've learned more
Listen.
about and maybe have more understanding for your coaches
For sure.
and their frustrations?
For
See?
sure.
No, that's interesting.
I mean, I think just for everyone. Like,
Yeah. No, that makes
from
sense.
all different perspectives.
From all different perspectives, chat. So now we're going to talk about this. Oh, my God. I couldn't wait to get into this one. Caitlin Clark and her body language, right? Since everybody want to talk about body language, please, let's talk about Caitlin Clark's reaction when she was not even looked at on this play right here. Look at this. This is the same game, the dream game that I'm talking about, right? The same game you saw Caitlin throw that attitude and at the timeout huddle, right? The same game where Caitlin Clark went into the tunnel and her and Stephanie White were at it, right? Which I have seen extended footage from a different angle. Once again, swear, I've seen this footage. I can confirm. I would not lie to y'all. If I could, if I had permission to leak this, I would have done it. I'm just not that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? But it will come out one day. We will be right back over here calling out everybody who said I was lying. But anyways, look at Caitlin Clark's body language right here. Look at this. As you can see, Kelsey Mitchell takes a pull-up three. What do you have Caitlin Clark doing over here? Oh, tying her shoes. That's not even untied. Caitlin Clark is over here tying her shoes in the middle of possession. You probably like, okay, Venom, maybe her shoes was tied. Okay, let's see. Kelsey misses. Caitlin is back up by this point, right? So, okay, cool. Get back on defense. Oh, no, Lexi Holt has the rebound. So, Caitlin, you should be running right back here to get into the play, right? But you already know you ain't even going to be looked at, right? Because the closest person to the ball is Aliyah Boston. And they got turned over. Caitlin Clark is still walking away from the play while everybody is on their way to the ball. She's the only person walking away. Stephanie White, I'm not doing it today. I'm glad Caitlin Clark woke up on this side of the bed today where she had that I'm not going for it. You know what I'm saying? Because she's human at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? She's human at the end of the day. But let's continue. Right here, Caitlin Clark calling for the ball once again. Wide open. She could go for a three. Right here. Wide open. Who has the ball? Natasha Howard. If you throw it right there, Caitlin has an open shot. When Stephen Curry's playing, when someone else have the ball besides him, you know what's the first thing they do in Golden State? They're looking for Stephen Curry before they make their move. And Golden State, they're looking for Curry before they make their move. Natasha's not even looking for Caitlin. And if she looked for Caitlin, Caitlin would have been wide open. But she didn't. And what Caitlin does, Caitlin drops her shoulders. Caitlin drops her shoulders. And now look. Pay attention to Caitlin Clark right here. Throwing her arms up. Not once, but twice. As a coach, how can you see this and not talk to your players? Do you know, like Steve Kerr, I always say this, Steve Kerr joked and say, hey, Buddy Hield, meet Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter in the world, because he felt like Buddy Hield wasn't looking for Stephen Curry. Hey, Natasha Howard, this is Caitlin Clark, the generational player. Oh, I just wanted you to know. I mean, nice for you guys to meet. Now that you know this, get her the ball, please. Okay? because you don't want this. This body language is not it. Look at her. She's like, come on. Like, it's already bad as it is. They're going to double me and triple me every play so I don't get my shots off. So can y'all please look for me when I'm open? Because when y'all open, I'm the first one to pass it to y'all. It's so unfair to me that I can look and put, like, I have the green light to score. And I'm putting my scoring green light aside to get y'all the ball. And y'all are too incompetent to see that on the court. It's insane.
I think we can also.
Now we're going to talk about this as well. Oh, my gosh, chat. Oh, my God. This is where it gets spooky. Whoo-wee. Let me pull this up real quick, chat. Let me pull this up so I can show y'all the bottom of this. Stephanie. Oh my gosh, chat. It genuinely does get bad. I'm not gonna lie. It genuinely does get bad because my thing is with Stephanie White, she just never gives Caitlin Clark her props, right? And she always wants to play motion basketball. She want to talk about getting the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands and stuff like that subliminally. Carolyn Peck has, notioned at it again. But look at this. Stephanie White promoting motion offense again. Listen to this.
And how the ball continues to move.
And how the ball continues to move. She loves saying that. Do we got to pull up the Dallas Mavericks clip again where Stephanie White was talking about how they played without Luka Doncic, who plays similar to Caitlin Clark, heliocentric player. She always talks about how the ball is not stuck. The ball is popping. The ball is this. The ball is that. Stephanie White, the ball don't have to pop when Caitlin has it because Caitlin makes one pop and they're open. You don't have to swing if I'm attracting two once I touch the ball, Steph. This is simple math. If you have 5 players and if you have a 5-on-5, right? But let's do simple math because I don't know if I got to count my fingers for Stephanie White. 5 players on the Fever, 5 players on the Dream or anybody, right? If 2 Dream players go to double Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark is out of the play, you still have 4 Fever players against 3 Atlanta Dream players because this one person drew 2 bodies. You're dealing with a constant 4-on-3 every single time. But you want to talk about swing. The ball is popping. It's doing this. It's doing that.
It doesn't get stuck. How they do make you work, till the end of the shot clock oftentimes. So I think we can take something that way. I feel like offensively, in these last 2 games, we've done a pretty good job.
We've done a pretty good job, right?
We've gotten some good looks. Some of them we knocked down, some of them we haven't. The growth for us has to continue to be consistently on the defensive end.
This is genuinely insane. And listen to her once again. Like I said, I'm going to pull up the Dallas clip. Stephanie White downplaying Luka's play style again. Yeah, I just heard her talk about the ball movement. The ball was swinging, this, that, and the third. It wasn't getting stuck, right?
You see the Mavs just playing differently without Luka on the floor. He's a guy who's high usage rate. The ball's in his hands. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving. It's popping. Multiple players getting involved in action, and everyone's stepping up.
And look at how her co-host rebutted it. We went over this, but listen to this.
Lower usage rate for him this year.
I love that part so much because he's like, you're not about to do that to Luka Doncic and just act like you just said what you said. Like he's not a literal historic player.
Not on the floor, that ball is moving. It's popping. Multiple players getting involved in action.
And how the ball continues to move, how it doesn't get stuck.
From Ann Stewart.
You can't make this up. Now let's talk about an actual good coach. Coach K from Duke. Everybody's familiar with him, right? Coach K from Duke, a very successful college coach, could easily have any NBA head coaching job if he wanted it. Coach K from Duke says complete opposite from what Stephanie White said. Let's listen to this real quick. Well, he talks about Caitlin Clark, right?
She asked about Caitlin Clark. She wants to know how you would build a team around her and what you think her career will look like.
Yeah, well, she's terrific.
He's already said more for Caitlin Clark than Stephanie White has ever said.
Sirius XM show that I had for 20 years. And when she was a senior at Iowa, I had her on my show. And it's radio, a podcast. It's a Sirius XM show, but it goes all over. And but we do it by Zoom, so you get a better conversation.
Right.
She was terrific. And it'd be easy to build something on her because she's the best thing she does is pass.
Yep.
She's a magical passer, and she has a great feel for the game. So, I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did. Make sure she handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better.
Whoa. Make sure she handles the what? Hold on, Coach K, can you say that one more time?
I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did.
Lisa
Make
Bluter.
sure she handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better.
Make sure she handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better. It could be so simple if her WNBA coaches listen to this, right?
And how the ball continues to move.
So that's what hurts Caitlin. What hurts Caitlin's game, right? What Stephanie White just said. Make sure the ball continues to move.
How it doesn't get stuck.
And it doesn't get stuck. Who's making the ball get stuck? Stephanie put a name to it. You only have so many players on your team, so many initiators. Who's it getting stuck with, Steph?
Make sure she handles the ball
This is what helps Caitlin game.
a lot.
How it doesn't get stuck.
She handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better.
Bounce back win.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, let's talk about this right here. This bounce back win. Obviously, you heard this reporter say the Fever put up the historic second half against the Atlanta Dream, scoring 59 points in the second half, which Natasha Howard and Kelsey Mitchell being limited in that fourth quarter. Obviously, because Caitlin was being looked off, the rhythm wasn't there. They weren't getting the ball to Caitlin, and the ball got to Caitlin in that second half. And what happened? Instant success, especially that fourth quarter. Beautiful basketball being played. I think they outscored the Dream 30-17, which was the biggest point disparity between the Fever and the Dream. Insane, right? Who would have thought getting the ball to Caitlin and playing her way would have helped that much? And exactly why I know that hurt Stephanie White to the core. Watching Caitlin Clark say, running my way and watch what happened. She went out there and showed exactly what happened in one half after being down. Go do it, CC. We listening.
For you guys, what was working for you?
And watch Caitlin Clark specifically highlight the second half, not the whole game. Specifically that second half after she went and had that feud at halftime with Stephanie White.
So well, especially in that second half offensively.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we just played with a really great pace. I thought we moved the ball. I thought we cut hard.
She could have said the whole game, but what she says?
Which opened up the three-point line for us, and then we knocked down some shots.
When?
Also, I thought our defense was really good, so I think it was both sides of the ball, and kind of felt like how we should get back out there and play, every single game. I think 99 points is, probably the most we've put up in quite some time. I think somebody said 59 is the most scored in a second half in, quite a few years now. So proud of our group. I thought we came out and competed well, especially there in the second half.
So
especially in the second half. Hold on, Kayla. I don't think the drones heard you in the back. I think they get hit with an EMP when you start speaking facts. Let's listen to Stephanie. Oh my gosh. Knock on wood. What?
Came out and competed well, especially there in the second half.
Especially there in the
Sophie
second
with a
half.
double. She brings such energy. And yesterday she was telling us how she felt that frustration, that you all were feeling that frustration. So what did you see from her and able to really lead that charge?
I mean, she brings that energy every single day. So really happy for her. She's had a little bit of a shooting struggle, but she just comes in and she's the same person every single day. We all knew she was going to get hot and was due, and that's exactly what she did tonight. And she rebounds the ball well. She just brings great energy. She's all over the floor diving on loose balls. So her energy is unmatched with this team, really.
Anyways, let's move on. Okay, so somebody debunked. They're doubting what I was saying on X, right? When I was saying, Stephanie White, she was speeding up the Sparks in the second and against the Sparks. She was speeding up the Sparks when they were down, and obviously we're about to break that down, right? Well, let's go over it, because clearly when I say things, people want to rebuttal it. You can't rebuttal the film, can you? Okay, let's look at it. Kelsey Plum, me and Trap, it's 79-84. Where you would kind of want to let them get into their actions, go through a couple screens, go through a couple bumps, run their, bleed into their shot clock a little bit. The clock is their worst enemy right now, right? So they're trapping right now, right? Listen, Kelsey Plum. Kelsey retrieves dribble. Like I said, Kelsey Plum is a great playmaker. You're not taking the ball away from her with a simple trap. She's just not. She has a rope. She has a good handle on the ball, right? So we send two to the ball. Like I said, we just did the math, right? Now they got a 4-on-3 advantage. The Sparks. Now, this is where another problem came. Natasha Howard didn't even take over the one pass. Okay, if anybody watches the NBA, you know the Memphis Grizzlies and how they play offense. When one goes left, they all go left on a wheel. I always brag about the way the Memphis Grizzlies play. Draymond Green spoke about it as well, because that is such beautiful rotation and space. I don't know why coaches and teams are not copying that, but Kelsey Plum is dribbling to her left hand, right? Which means this whole floor should rotate left now, clockwise. If you want me to explain, Venom, what do you mean? That means, Hamby, you rotate to your left. That means you rotate to your left. Rakia, slide down a little bit more. And it's not just done there. Azare, roll left a little bit here. Everybody rotates on a wheel, right? If I connect all of this, it would look like a circle, right? And the Fever has to do the same exact thing. Everybody rotate left. Natasha Howard, rotate and take away the next pass over. Ari is going to take away this. Now we're in scramble defense, right? Sophie rotates to Rakia. Natasha Howard, you rotated already, right? Guess what that means? Aaliyah Boston, by the time everybody makes these rotations, it's only 10 seconds left. Maybe they'll have 2 seconds to score, or maybe Aaliyah Boston will make it back to Azare in time. But you do not take away the next pass over. This is clear, common basketball knowledge. I'm not talking breaking news here. take away the next pass over, right? Which Natasha Howard fails to do because who does she choose to guard? She chose to stay with Azare, which was a big mistake, right? Because Sophie was there to help anyway if the pass went there. You're supposed to take this away. So clearly, Natasha Howard is still down here. Look at how open Hamby is. Take away this next pass right here because, Natasha, if you take this away, Azare is right here. Now, if Azare gets an open three, we'll live with that. But if she tries to drive in, guess who's there? Sophie to rotate. And then we start rotating right? Because that means Azare rotated right, which means Kelsey's going to rotate right, and Leah's going to rotate right, Kelsey Mitchell's going to rotate right, Hamby's going to rotate right. It's going to be a wheel. Do I have to connect it for you guys to see? It's a circle. Look at the circle on your screen. This is pure basketball knowledge. And I can't believe that they don't break these simple things down in practice. But let's continue though, chat. Natasha failed to rotate, which leaves Rakia Jackson wide open. Failed rotation by everybody. Right? Once again, if you thought that was bad enough, they start the blitz again, right? Natasha Howard does a good job this time. Takes away the next pass over, right? But guess what? It goes to Azare. And what did I say the last play? If Azare hits that shot, you live with it. That's the point of trapping. You take away the easiest shots. You want to take, you want to get a steal. It's a bunch of things you want in a trap. But we'll live with Azare shooting a three, right? Natasha took away the pass. She gets back to get a contest, and Azare Stevens misses the shot. Beautiful play. Like if she makes it, she makes it. You could get out the trap after that or anything. But at least you took the next pass over. But anyways, let's continue, right? So once again, they're setting a trap. I don't know when you're going to realize Kelsey Plum just made 3 successful plays out of the trap, and you're still trapping with 1:35 to go, Steph. Kelsey Plum, another retreat dribble. Now, Kelsey Mitchell makes the mistake and doesn't take away the next pass over. As you can see, Kelsey Mitchell was fronting Rakia Jackson. Kelsey Mitchell, let me tell you what Kelsey should have done here. Kelsey, you should have slid over here to Hamby. Guess what that means? That means Natasha Howard slides over to Rakia, and that means Ari McDonald picks up here. Somebody's going to help the helper, right? Aaliyah Boston gets back, help, and maybe come over there. If Van Loo gets open, maybe Ari goes back and takes the next pass over like Natasha Howard did last play, and she goes for a late contest on Van Loo. So many things you could do. But at the end of the day, chat, I can connect it. It's a circle. It's a circle. We're on a wheel. Can we move? Can we rotate together? We're talking about playing like we're on a string connected together. Why are we trapping if it's not working? The girls don't even know how to trap because you didn't even explain it to them. Now Kelsey Mitchell's there. Natasha Howard, who should have been there to be, take away the next pass. Because look, I don't really blame Natasha Howard for this. Because Kelsey Mitchell was the last person there when Natasha Howard looked. So right here, you see Natasha Howard looked over this. So she saw Kelsey there. So she's like, okay, cool. So by the time you see Azare Stevens go to the top of the key, Natasha's like, oh, snap. Last time I looked there, Kelsey was there. Where the hell are you, Kelsey? Kelsey realized at the last second, I was supposed to take away that next pass. But by that point, it was too late. Stephanie White should have took it. She should have got him out the trap by this point. Should have been got him out the trap, really. And now it gives them an and one. So you speeding them up, and you're not even doing it properly. Now look at this, right? Final possession, potential final possession before you get a stop on defense. You're down 1. You don't even draw up a play down 1. You don't even go into a set and action. Look at this play, chat. Is there a screen set for anybody on this play? There's a screen set for nobody. They're just freestyling motion offense. This is what Stephanie White loves to do. Motion offense, ball movement, right? Swinging the ball, swing, bleed into the shot clock. Caitlin Clark would have set a simple screen. She would have had a pick and roll with Aaliyah pick and pop, an empty pick and roll on this side for real, which I'll get into that explanation another day. An empty pick and roll right here, and they have a unguardable 2-man game. That's what you need. You don't need ball movement all the time when you have somebody who's automatically a magnet, who's automatically commanding gravity. It's genuinely insane, chat. Aaliyah kicks out to Ari. They missed it, and we lost this game. Lexi always crashing again, and she got fouled right there, but it don't matter, right? Now let's talk about this. Stephanie White struggling to compliment just Caitlin Clark on her own award. Y'all saw her go on that whole tangent, that whole express train talking about Kelsey Mitchell. She's the #1 priority. She's our biggest priority. She's close to home. She's been here for 8 years. She's drafted the #2 pick. She deserves everything. She deserves this. She deserves that, right? Caitlin Clark wins SB Best Player in the WNBA award, and this is how Stephanie White rewards her, by bringing up other players.
Steph, I don't know if you noticed or heard about it, but during the game, Caitlin got honored as the WNBA Player of the Year in the ESPYs. Just what does it mean to have her impact so far? I mean, there are a lot of really good players in this league, and she got honored as the best player in the league by the ESPYs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she continues to get new awards. She continues to break barriers. She continues to do things that we haven't seen before. I mean, you know, obviously you think about the Stewies MVPs of the league and, you know, championship winners, and Asia's MVPs of the league and championship winners. And of course, Sue Bird, who was sitting, you know, in the building today. And, you know, Caitlin is so fortunate, as well as all these guys.
As well as all these guys.
I mean, that they don't know anything any different than the WNBA. Right, like they've seen their idols play. They work their asses off to get to where they are, and to be able to be honored, whether it's the ESPYs or whether it's league awards or whether it's All-Star or whatever. I just think they continue to then lead the way for the other young players that are watching. So we're proud of Caitlin. You know, ESPY is a big thing, and you know, we're going to continue to support her. You know, and but at the end of the day, for our team and our group,
our team,
yes,
our group.
We have momentum. Yes, we have one of the greatest players in the game, but collectively we got to put it together.
Collectively,
and we've got to continue to lean on one another and be better.
So he asked you about the ESPY award. You're talking about we got to lead together, be together collectively. He didn't ask you about this. It's okay, Stephanie White.
You know, it's...
So Stephanie White calls Caitlin Clark's injury a blessing in disguise and tries to explain why. Calling any injury a blessing in disguise is insane, but let's listen to this real quick.
I think I said it early when C was out the very first time. You know, while we don't like it, sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise because everybody else finds themselves.
When I heard this, I had to squeak my eyes to make sure I was hearing properly. And I had to put eye drops in my ears to make sure I was hearing properly. Because what I'm hearing right now makes no sense. What I'm hearing right now makes no sense. You just called... I can't believe this. I can't believe she genuinely... I can't believe we have a coach who is literally...
You know, it's... I think I said it early when C was out the very first time. You know, while we don't like it, sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise because
she's broken so many laws, in my opinion. She's broken so many crimes, in my opinion. The fact that she still has a job, the fact that there's no meeting or anything besides the alleged one that we just talked about. How is Stephanie White a head coach of Caitlin Clark after all this evidence that we've compiled? After all the things that she said, how is she allowed to coach Caitlin Clark? That is one of the nastiest things I've ever heard a coach say about their player. There's coaches that literally say we lost this game because we didn't have this player. We missed this player so much. Obviously, we don't have this player, so we're not going to look the best. Stephanie White, on the other hand, called Caitlin Clark's injury a blessing in disguise. Something that put tears in Caitlin Clark's eyes. Something that derailed her season, that could have possibly injured her career, the longevity of her career. She has her coach saying this is a blessing in disguise. And watch them say I'm twisting her words when she literally said verbatim, it's a blessing in disguise. Stephanie White, there's no disguise that can bless you with a Caitlin Clark injury. There's nothing you can say that can convince you that losing Caitlin Clark was a positive when you look deeper. There's nothing you can say. If there's anything I've said, you could throw everything I've covered, everything out the window. If you watch this clip alone should speak volumes to what kind of coach Caitlin Clark has. She's clearly pro Kelsey Mitchell. And I'm not going to let her being pro Kelsey Mitchell make me anti Kelsey Mitchell. I still love Kelsey Mitchell. I still think we would hurt, it would hurt losing Kelsey Mitchell. But that's not going to make me ignore the fact that she's definitely trying to make Kelsey Mitchell the leader of this team, the number one option. She's trying to put Caitlin Clark in the backseat. And it's obvious as day with the way she talks. She's not a fan of Caitlin Clark on the court. She's basically saying Caitlin Clark getting injured allowed me to coach the way I like to coach.
As everybody else finds themselves.
Everybody finds themselves. Stephanie White. So nobody finds themselves with Caitlin? So Aaliyah Boston hitting a new level playing alongside Caitlin was not her finding herself. Aaliyah Boston not developing a passing game wasn't her finding herself. Aaliyah Boston slimming down and becoming more mobile to play in a fast-paced system along Caitlin Clark to extend her career is not finding herself. Kelsey Mitchell playing in a winning environment, making the playoffs 2 years in a row is not finding herself. Kelsey Mitchell hitting a new level which we thought she couldn't even hit because she was so good, but playing alongside Caitlin Clark is not finding a different level, finding herself. The post-Olympic break run, was that not Kelsey Mitchell finding herself? Lexi Hole, somebody who wasn't even given minutes, somebody who was off the bench, wasn't even respected by these coaches, came in and led the league in three-point shooting playing alongside Caitlin Clark, and you're going to say she didn't find herself? What are we talking about here, Stephanie White? I can keep going. KK is going to find herself. We can name any player who plays alongside Caitlin Clark. You will find yourself playing with her. She ain't God, but she damn sure is gonna help you find yourself. Like, I can't, yeah. I like every time she speaks is like, I don't understand what what are you trying to get at, Stephanie? Just stop, just tell us how you really feel, so I can stop doing this and stop having to cover these things because you're making it look bad for yourself. You're going online. I post my little Fever Fridays last week, and now all of a sudden we got interviews coming out. We got this, we got that. Like, yeah, y'all literally falling for the bait. See, throughout the season, I'll always say, they'll say, Venom, you sure these people not watching you? I heard Stephanie White. Oh my God, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Before we even continue, I gotta show y'all something. If y'all think Stephanie White is not listening to me, let me show y'all something. Guys, what do I call a player that works extremely hard? What do I call them? Like, what do I call the girl, like the Lexi Halls, the girls who, the KKs? What do I call them? I want to hear y'all in the comments real quick. Let me know. What do we call those kind of players who play hard, who get, hit the ground? Let me see something. I genuinely want to hear this real quick, chat. Oh, Michael, we didn't hear you. What was that? Blue collar, right? Okay, cool. So let me pull this up real quick, chat. Let me pull this up real quick, chat. Pay attention to your screen. Oh my goodness. So this is Stephanie White speaking on a Fever's resiliency, September 23rd. You guys know blue collar. Okay, let's listen to this real quick.
Being that gritty, tough, blue collar, kind of team. Being that gritty, tough, blue collar, kind of team.
Now listen, I'm not one to take credit for the word blue collar. I ain't started by any means. But have anybody heard someone compare a basketball player to a blue collar boy or blue collar girl? Because me personally, I think, especially in this space, I started that. But it's cool. I'm not here to always talk about what I started. This is not just me being self-centered. This is me talking about just the fact that there are eyes watching and you never know. There are eyes watching and you will never know. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to just leave that out there. I'm going to let y'all digest that, how y'all digest that. Let's get back to the rest of it, though. Let's finish this out. Let's see what else they got to talk about. Once again, let's go over this Dallas Mavericks clip with Stephanie White. Is this the blessing in disguise that Stephanie White is talking about? The ball movement? Caitlin's injury is a blessing to Coach Steph White? Look at this.
He's a guy who's high usage rate. The ball's in his hands. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving. It's popping. Multiple players getting involved in action, and everyone's stepping up.
Oh usage rate for him this year. I love that part so much. Lower usage rate for this year. Like, he just literally I wish I could see Stephanie White's face when her own co-host just rebutted her in front of national television. But anyways, let's talk about this, right? This was very suspicious as well. Caitlin Clark forgets what month her injury was, and she forgot what injury it was. They are making Caitlin Clark say this, in my opinion, and no one forgets both these things. And if the injury was real, it means they lied to us for profit. That's what it means, in my opinion. Let me tell you something. When you're injured, you're going through medical analysis. The doctors are pointing out x-rays, MRIs, and they're giving you the paper saying, oh, and they're comparing it with other people. You know how the doctors get, right? Oh, yeah, everybody else who has a bone bruise, this is their recovery time. Caitlin, you're making good progress. Other people with a bone bruise, this, that, and the third. They say the injury so much that you don't forget it, right?
I feel like probably over these last couple of weeks is when I've probably...
Let me make this louder real quick. Hold on. Let me make this louder real quick. Y'all gotta hear what Caitlin Clark is saying in this clip, chat. It's genuinely insane. And the fact that Caitlin Clark is forgetting what injury it is, the fact that she's forgetting what month this injury is, etc., etc. Just listen to this, chat. Let me take this off the screen for you guys.
Started feeling my best. Obviously, my ankle kind of didn't allow me to really see where my groin was at. It was, I think, my second full court workout back when we were in I don't even know what month that would have been, but I just went to kind of make a move, and unfortunately my ankle like completely rolled all the way.
So Kaylin, you said you forgot what month it was, right? Okay, let's listen one more time.
When we were in, I don't even know what month that would have been, but
I don't even know what month that would have been. Kaylin, the WNBA season is nothing but what, 5 months? You would know what month that is, Kaylin, because we know what month it is. It was August, right? When you hurt the ankle, August 7th to be exact. It was August. You could have said late June, early August. You could have got even somewhere around it. You don't even know what month it is. The injury that literally sat you up for the rest of the year. You don't know what month that is? Kaylin, I know the last day you touched the court off the top of my head, July 15th. I know the day you injured your ankle, August 7th. And I am not Caitlin Clark. I am not rehabbing every day. And I know these things off the top of my head. Kaylin, trust me, we know you know exactly what's going on.
I just went to kind of make a move, and unfortunately my ankle like completely rolled all the way forward, and probably one of the worst sprains I've dealt with. But
and this is another thing. She said her ankle rolled forward. Now I'm assuming that means she rolled her ankle while she was going forward and her ankle rolled forward, right? Right? So, you know when you're going forward and your ankle rolls forward, you're rolling with the momentum of the roll, which means that's one of actually the best kind of ankle injuries to get. Yeah. It's the injuries like Napheesa Collier when it rolls that way and you're going the opposite way that it gets that bad. And Napheesa Collier was in a boot. Napheesa Collier was on a scooter, right? But she came back in literally 3 weeks to play the Fever and dropped a 30-point near triple-double. So if Napheesa Collier can injure herself and come back that bad in a boot and come back in less than 3 weeks, how can Caitlin Clark, who's not in a boot, who's seen jumping on the sideline, who's seen the same day she injured her ankle walking with a heavy bag on the side of the ankle that she injured, not come back to play? How can Sophie Cunningham around that time of that same month say Caitlin Clark is coming back soon, but we never seen her for the rest of the year? And of course, Sophie Cunningham made sure to say, yeah, none of us know, but Sophie Cunningham, we heard you. Sophie messed up by saying Caitlin Clark was coming back soon. That's where Sophie Cunningham messed up at. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Hold on, chat. I'm going to pull it up for you guys so you guys know I'm not just pulling stuff out of thin air. I want you guys to see these are things that, like, everybody thought Caitlin Clark was coming back. And this was after the ankle injury. Let's pull this up, by the way. Hold on. Let me pull this up for y'all real quick. I want you guys to listen to this real quick, okay?
Yeah.
It really does suck, but
is Caitlin close? How's she coming along?
dude, I don't know. Everyone keeps asking, everyone's like, you know, and I'm like, literally, she doesn't even know. Like, it's just like a day by day legit type of thing.
A day by day thing. We're almost in November and she's just now being cleared for 5v5. But it was a day by day thing in August. In August. Oh my guys. We can't be this gullible. Oh my, like, this is genuinely mind blowing.
And so, yeah, she's close, but like...
Oh, whoa, Sophie, what you just said? Yeah, she's close.
Legit type of thing. And so, yeah, she's close, but like...
She's close? What you mean close? Like, she's close to you in Indiana? You know, are y'all close friends? Or is she close to returning on the court? Because that's what it looks like you're saying.
You also have to remember, like, she could be playing if it wasn't in the WNBA by now, but like...
I didn't hear that part. Oh my gosh. Oh, Sophie, no, you didn't. I did not hear that part when I pulled this up. No, Sophie, you gave us too much. Oh, they're not gonna like. I know they didn't like this one when you said that, Sophie. No,
a legit type of thing. And so, yeah, she's close, but like, you also have to remember, like, she could be playing if it wasn't in the WNBA by now. But like,
wow, so she's saying Caitlin Clark is healthy to play enough, but she's just not risking it for the WNBA because there's too much at stake. Meaning Caitlin Clark can play 5v5 basketball, which means at least by September, she should definitely be cleared if she's that close, right? In the ramp-up process, right? It's October 24th. We're going into November, and she's still not playing. Caitlin from the logo. Oh my God!
At Venom Reacts, Venom, I need to get with you for that special gift I promised last week. W/show the spotlight of this venue.
Without the
suggestions?
I need to get with you for that special gift I promised last week without the spotlight of this venue. Suggestions? DM me on X. I'll check my X refunds. I don't really remember exactly what the special gift was, but I appreciate you so much, Jerry. I miss hearing this sound so much too. Caitlin from the logo, man. We had a good time seeing C22, man. But yeah, chat. The fans were literally all right. Let's get back to this. We're not gonna get off topic real quick. Sophie Cunningham, you gave us too much right there, but let's get back into it though. We're nowhere near done, right? Let's go over this. Let's continue to hear this.
I've just tried to stay positive the best I can, and but I honestly feel like I'm in a really good spot, and people don't always realize. I mean, people that are kind of in the basketball world, or whether if you're in other sports too, like when you're injured, it's honestly more work than when you're playing. So I've spent.
Look at your screens. So, y'all remember the survey, right? I'm sorry, I think I had a pepper in my mouth. I ate peppers earlier. Is there anything that would impact your FIFA fandom? One, Caitlin Clark leads the team as an option. For what reason you're asking this question? For the life of me, I don't understand. But let's say you combine this with the way they play Caitlin Clark's injuries. They're trying to figure out what's going on. So Caitlin Clark being out, why they asking this survey last year? Let's see where like what impacts what, right? Let's see what impacts what. So Caitlin is not playing. Let's see if we're still selling tickets. We're still getting viewership, which they are because Caitlin is at the game and Caitlin is telling people to watch the games, right? Support the girls. But let's continue though. Let's look at how money hungry this organization got. Let's look at it real quick. Podcast that interviews other women at the top of their fields is an option, right? Series that explore the Indianapolis community and the people who are shaping its future is one, right? Virtual Youth, y'all get the point, right? Why? Pay attention to the last one right here. Ladies and gentlemen, skincare and beauty products. Fever-themed pimple patches. They're literally looking to squeeze you out for everything you got. They're saying, we want to brandish Indiana Fever. This is our, yeah, we have foundational pieces like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah. Ball said, no, Kelly. No, see, that's where you got it messed up. Caitlin Clark is the brand. Once again, the second you understand that is the second everything becomes more understandable for this the trajectory of this franchise. And, when you start actually seeing real success. Let's continue, though, all right? Let's continue, though. It's genuinely insane, though.
It's never bigger.
So let's talk about Kelsey Mitchell praising Caitlin for being a pro despite things not going the way that she liked.
Than like the group
it's like
itself.
She wasn't trying to be bigger than everybody. Like within our locker room, she wasn't trying to be bigger than anyone else. And I think the way that her style of play, it ended up complimenting me, ended up complimenting.
Wait, Kelsey, are you saying you can find yourself with Caitlin Clark? She compliments you, allows you to. Let's
AB, and so like the one thing I love about Caitlin too is that we all love basketball the same way. We all have our different styles of way of playing it, but the passion for it with Caitlin when she didn't play compared to when she did play remained the same. And like I respected that about her because it could have easily not been that way. You have people that come in and not want to do or buy in once it's not, or once it don't go their way, or once unfortunate things happen and you can't play.
Money Mitch cooking as usual on and off the court. What you say when things aren't going your way?
Or once it don't go their way.
Oh my gosh, Kelsey, thank you for that. Whew.
Once unfortunate things happen and you
so
can't.
So listen, the drones. Now what y'all gonna say? Kelsey Mitchell herself said Caitlin Clark. Because they're saying, Caitlin doesn't have a problem with it. What are y'all gonna say? Kelsey Mitchell herself is admitting Caitlin Clark, things are not going her way. And no, she's not talking about the injury because she talked about the injury after saying things are not going her way, right? Because she could have just said things are not going her way and left that general. No, she said things aren't going her way and this, the injury. Listen to it.
Play and injury happens.
And injuries happen. It's a difference between like, okay, y'all know the difference between like or and is and all those words. She said, things aren't going her way and the injuries, right? I walked my dog and I bought water, right? The water and the dog don't come together. Those are two different things, right? I turned on the stream and I started talking and can tie into something else. That doesn't mean it's a package deal. Thank you so much, Kelsey Mitchell, for breaking down what we all already knew.
Not getting your body the way you want to. And so I can respect the fact that she kept the program, and she didn't let her passion for it waver because she ended up pouring in more than she thought. And it was dope because she could have easily not been that person.
Yep. And that's what the drones want to see. They want to see, the Steph White drones want to see Caitlin Clark come out blatantly and say, I hate this organization. They don't let me do what I do. I'm out of here. F this. Like, that's what they want Caitlin to do. And we all know Caitlin will never do that. So our job is to filter and look at body language and look at what they're telling us, etc., the attitudes they're throwing. Like, we're not literally just saying, oh, Caitlin, look to the top left of the corner, and she does that when she's suspicious. No. We're saying Caitlin is flailing her arms because the ball is not getting to her when she's open. Caitlin is at the huddles pointing at Stephanie White, arguing with the coaching assistants, where Sydney Colson has to step in and be like, Caitlin, just go ahead, girl. Like, we're watching Caitlin Clark visibly frustrated, but we're listening to what Caitlin Clark is saying with her words when she has to be a pro. Like, that's what genuinely, I'm mind blown when I see people ignore these kind of things. And we're going to get to the drones after too, because I got a segment preserved specifically for the drones. All the drones that went at me.
For me,
don't worry, we'll get into it.
I think the old me would have been like, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna be a little bit more timid.
She was a pro.
But I think the me that, that I was able to display, I was okay with taking risks that going like at a person like A'ja Wilson.
Wow, Kelsey Mitchell was allowed to take risks. Who wasn't?
Dominant, big, defensive. I'm gonna block shots, and I felt like it was gonna be risks that I was gonna have to take and not waver from, to be who I am and for what my team needed. Now that was a blurred line because you ain't want to go in there and make tough shots every time or have mess up the team camaraderie, and so that was an adjustment for me, like seeing what's there and seeing what's not. But I knew I had to take a risk from game one and then the rest of the series based on the bar screen work, because A'ja is a big presence and her length is like dominant, and you have to be able to make simple but right plays, but also be aggressive to kind of like stay in it. And so that was big for me.
Shout out to Kelsey Mitchell, man. Money Mitch, we love you so much. I appreciate Kelsey Mitchell because without her, we wouldn't be nowhere where we are right now. Of course, Caitlin Clark as well. You know what I'm saying? We addressed a lot of the things. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about Caitlin Clark is literally under a microscope. She's known for avoiding drama and having class. If the organization asks her to do something, you don't think Caitlin Clark won't do it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she has the power to fight anybody, but she has never used her power in her career. She always keeps it classy and avoids drama. This is a well-raised woman. At all costs, you will see Caitlin Clark be a professional. But you have these one-dimensional thinkers who use that class as an excuse to run that narrative that Caitlin doesn't have a problem with anything, right? So, anyways, listen, a lot of people are using their personal relationships in a basketball philosophy conversation. Let me make this clear once again. I think Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark personality, they're great together. But when it comes down to how they both approach and see the game on a philosophical level, they couldn't disagree anymore. Stephanie White is a one-dimensional coach, in my opinion. All she sees is that motion offense, right? And she's a motivational speaker. Caitlin, on the other hand, is a 10-dimensional unicorn, and she can literally do everything on the floor. She can rebound, she can shoot, she can pass, she can do it all, right? That can do everything on the floor, but it's being confined to White's system that limits the rare heliocentrism you get from Caitlin Clark, right? Let's move on, though, okay? This is not me saying Stephanie White is a bad coach. I'll leave that out to get to my actual point. They're just not compatible. Are we going to rely on an almost 50-year-old coach to adapt now at this point in her career? After all these years of coaching her way, you think she's going to adapt to a player she clearly doesn't even agree with how she plays and has went on record multiple times criticizing her and other heliocentric players? I don't think she will adapt. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Every sign points to this coach and the front office prioritizing the Fever brand over Caitlin Clark. And in my opinion, they strung Caitlin Clark along. It's a fact that they passed on contradicting information about her ankle injury already, and that was word of mouth, not no medical report, which clearly means the injury was fake in my opinion. They're not expecting most Caitlin Clark fans to know all of this information. Where's the injury report if this injury is real? This should be public knowledge. This should be something fans can look up. If your player is injured, you should be able to look under the official medical report and find an injury, because you can get in legal trouble for lying about something like that. We are not supposed to know that. Why? Because we're WNBA fans, right? No. I watch the NBA as well. You're supposed to report these kind of injuries, right? So listen, people tried to discredit me as one of those clickbait YouTubers, and it backfired on them. I watched them go through it this whole week trying to discredit me, and it backfired. Because if you go through my channel, you'll find mostly film breakdowns and live watch parties, because I did not cover team politics and I don't clickbait. So it's just empty accusation thrown my way, and that drives the drones up the wall even more. Or should I say up the sky? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's continue, okay? The drones say he used to be one of the good ones, but nothing has changed for Venom except my knowledge for what was happening under my nose. I didn't wake up a new man. I am on camera praising Stephanie White in this front office. You can go back and look. I didn't create these things that are in front of me. The offseason gave me time to look at this. I wanted to see this thing through with Stephanie White. You can go back and look. I said, give her another chance. Let's see how it plays out. Y'all remember? And this Fever team, listen, I realize Caitlin Clark's own organization that drafted her is nothing but a microcosm of Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA brand taking credit and trying to build off a name that isn't even theirs to do things their way. It's a power trip, in my opinion. Everyone is witnessing in real time my analysis to everything that's been happening. I'm not fabricating footage. This is not AI generated evidence outside of the graphics that I created for the thumbnails. No, this is concrete evidence that I'm bringing to you guys, okay? Can you find any criticism of these Stephanie White drones criticizing her? Is she above criticism in their eyes, right? I lean towards the latter in that one. Anyways, another thing to clear the air, the tunnel incident is not a conspiracy. I want to make that clear. I'm confirming what I saw and heard for myself. I just ain't gonna be a snake and let some ad hominem attackers force me to leak sensitive information. If you take that as like he say, she say, go ahead. I don't care, honestly. You know what I'm saying? One day everything is gonna come to light. I gave everyone a full week to discredit me, and all I've gotten was personal attacks. Clearly means I'm onto something in my opinion. And I saved the perfect segment for these ad hominem attackers, all these Steph White drones who's been going at me at the timeline, going into public spaces and trying to discredit my name, making fun of my appearances, making fun of how I look, this, that, and the third. And these are people who I follow, people who I've had conversations with. I've never disrespected them, never went at them personally, but they personally went and attacked me on the timeline. But guess what? Like I said, I'm not backing down. I'm not intimidated. It is what it is. Do you guys want me to go and address that the drones? Do you guys want me to EMP the drones, or do we end it off here? Because I got a whole segment saved. What do we do? Because I'll genuinely let all you guys know. I can expose all the drones if y'all want. What do y'all want? I can literally, and yes, look at V's comment. I asked every single person who talked shit on X to give me a specific example. 0 people provided a single example. A single example. Call them out. Call them out. EMP, yup. Yes, expose. All right, here we go. All right, let's get messy. Let's get hey, listen. It's all cool when they come in at Venom, right? Oh, he looked like this. He looked like, I heard everything they was saying. Yeah, I heard it all. They thought I was, because they was in a little, I heard it all. Don't worry about it. We're going to go about it. But the difference between me and y'all, I ain't going to go at y'all personally. I'm just going to expose y'all in front of thousands of viewers. So when these people see y'all on the timeline from now on, they'll know exactly what to look out for. So before we get into this personal, oh, this segment is going to be so funny. I know this is going to end up on the timeline. Let's have some fun. And by the way, chat, expect them to come at me once again. But like I said, I ain't intimidated. I don't care. I'm fully confident in myself. I'm fully, you know what I'm saying, comfortable and confident in my identity. I'm fully confident how I dress, how I look, and everything. I don't even have to explain those things. But even if I weren't, the fact that y'all went to those lengths to try to bring a man like me down, a man who's never went at anybody personally, it shows me that I'm onto something. But let's talk about it, okay? Because this is probably how y'all quiet everybody else down. It don't work with Venom, all right? I've learned to realize that you can't criticize nor label me as a Stephanie White biased hater, right? And we just spoke about it. Because in fact, I was one of Stephanie White's biggest supporters on here. I had a supporter last Friday that told me they stopped supporting me because I couldn't even see what was in front of me. Everyone is witnessing in real time my analysis to everything that's been happening. I'm not fabricating footage. Like I said, it's not AI generated content. None of that. Can you find any criticism of them drones? No. You know what I'm saying? And last week I mentioned Ozzy on X when I was talking about who leaked the ankle breaking news. And the drones ran away with it and said Ozzy was my source. Never did I say that. And I even stated after that. We'll go into it. Let's listen to Kelly Krauskopf one more time.
We want to sustain the growth and the interest level.
Want to sustain the growth.
I mean, this is about the Indiana Fever. Yes, we have a foundational
Here we
player
go.
in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country, and a brand, an enduring brand, like Apple or something. I mean, we have a real opportunity here.
So, all right. Oh my gosh, that surprised me. Yeah, this is drone number 1, guys. Meet Kyla. The Stephanie White drone. Yes. This is the woman who said disgusting things about me, who said, oh, I look like Inspector Gadget. Yeah, it was funny joke. I'm not going to lie. I laughed at it because I'm somebody who could take jokes. You know what I'm saying? I come from people where they roast you. I come from a place where they roast you. It was funny. But we're not going to ignore the fact that she went on. She said, never trust someone with a beret hat. This is someone. Oh, my gosh, Kyla, I did not want to do this to you. I did not want to do this to you, Kyla. I've given you all season. You're a clear Lexi Hull hater. I have a DM of you saying Lexi Hull is not the answer. I'm not going to expose the DM, but yes, you said Lexi Hull is not the answer. And you went to a game where we literally went to the next round. Y'all remember when Lexi got that game-winning steal? Guess who was at the game recording, screaming to the top of her lungs? This woman on your screen, Kyla, the Steph White drone. Yes, this is her, drone number 1. So anyways, Kyla, I saved a special segment for you. You made a lot of mistakes on the internet, but coming at me continuously when I've never came at you with a disagreement is insane. It seems like you want a moment with me, but you just don't know how to get it. So listen, Kyla, today is the day you get exactly what you asked for, what you've been asking for all season, but I never gave you the time of the day. Not only are you a hypocrite, but you're clearly not even a believer in Lexi Ho, but you're at the game supporting them, right? You're also fighting. Oh, wait, guys, it gets worse. You're also fighting public homophobic allegations. Yeah. I know about that too, where you deactivated your account and you got ran off X, right? While you was begging Amber Cox for tickets and asking Julie Van Loo to come to Twitter Spaces, which are 2 openly gay women. And me personally, I don't judge anybody for anything outside of basketball. What you do is on you on a personal level. We're here to talk basketball, right? Kyla, on the other hand, attacks people's genders, attacks people's personalities and preferences. Kyla is, on the other hand, is constantly on the internet bashing and attacking people she disagrees with out of pure emotion. In my opinion, this girl shows her true colors every time she's angry. So when you see this girl on your timeline, just know, don't even pay her no attention, all right? This is someone who cannot control her emotions and will say the nastiest things to you, who surround themselves with this, like, who would surround themselves with this kind of human being? I'm gonna be honest. Like, you scare me, I'm gonna be honest, you know? Like, I'm gonna be honest, you don't even hold yourself accountable. You lack self-respect. Like, everything about you is a mess, in my opinion, okay? This is also someone who sexualized me for doing my job. Yeah. As a fan of the game, I've grown to be super intrigued by Lexi Ho and her defensive IQ and this, that, and the third. And she sexualized me and said, I want Lexi Ho. I'm not even allowed to do my job. I'm not even allowed to be a fanboy or none of that because I'm a male, right? Let's continue with Kyla, though. Let's listen to this. This is drone number 1, y'all. Oh, yeah, it's drone number 1. This is the drone. Oh, yeah, we know why. You in with them peoples. Yeah, you're with Amber Cox. Amber Cox is, yeah. We know why you're a drone, Kyla. You can't see no wrong because you're with them. Like, you're with them, literally, you know? Anyways, let's continue, though. Let's go through most of the things Kyla said. I'm not going to pull up all the nasty things she said because I probably, with this video, will get taken down. That's how nasty this girl has been saying, you know, the things that she's been saying. Anyways, she posted, Fever, I'm 5-0 when I'm in attendance this year, including our semifinal. Amber Cox responded, I got you, DM me. She said, oh my God, yeah. Amber, do you know that this is an alleged homophobe? Yeah. She literally is fighting allegations, but she's attacking Venom. Make this make sense, y'all. Someone who judges people, I don't even understand what's wrong with this girl. But let's continue, though. This is only drone number 1, by the way. We'll continue. Let's continue. Oh, my God. This is where you're sexualizing. Oh, you didn't think I could find this, right? Oh, no. Best believe I was in tune. I wanted to hear what you had to say. He want Lexi Ho. I cannot make this up, chat. I'm talking to Lexi's mom. I don't even want to make this about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was genuinely a fanboy in me. As someone, I was like one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I did that for the community. I'm nobody special in my opinion. I'm just a fan. I get to talk to one of my favorite players' moms. That's like life-changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, who wouldn't want to do that? Like, I'm fanboying over here, and you have disgusting human beings like this. No, I would not show that the alleged. No, I would not show what she said. It's deleted anyways, but I'll show what people said about it anyways. But I'm not even allowed to do my job because you have drones like this on the timeline doing that. So I want Lexi Ho. Lexi Ho's not the answer, but yet you got Kyla on the timeline saying my point of view from the last play. Oh my gosh. I went crazy, after Lexi stole the ball. Whoa, Kyla, this can't be the same girl saying Lexi's not the answer. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's continue. Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's move on, chat. It's not done here. So this is the girl who's, if y'all need like another picture, this is Kyla. Like, I want y'all to remember the face, remember the name. This is the girl who's constantly attacking me on the internet, constantly going at me, constantly doing this, constantly doing that. It's insane, chat. Like, I genuinely don't understand what to do. I don't know what I did to this woman. I don't know what she's going through. I don't know what's wrong in her life, what habits she has formed that maybe she hates the world for. I don't know. But I do know that Kyla attacks anybody. And this, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. It gets worse. It gets worse. The drones are coming out. The EMP is coming out. This is what Kyla had to say.
Just recycle.
Oh no, this was Krista, another drone. Oh, this is Krista and Kyla. Welcome to the club, Krista. Yeah, Krista. We ain't leave you out of this one. No, for sure. For sure. We ain't leave you out of this one. This is Krista. Welcome to Krista, right?
Shit that was already talked about on X.
So Krista says he'll just talk. She was talking about my last Fever Friday. She said he was just talking about shit that was already spoken about on X, right?
I was like,
He didn't even. It wasn't even factual shit. Like certain stuff. Okay, yeah, the ankle injury.
Oh, certain stuff. So he wasn't even saying stuff that was true. Okay, certain stuff was true, but he was just saying opinions. I never came up there. Like, I literally said these are my opinions, and I want to show you guys how I formulated my opinion. So now you got Drone 1 Kyla, Drone 2 Krista. Let's continue though.
Everything else he said was just dumb. Like the whole time.
Okay.
He was just reaching. He was literally looking for shit.
Yeah.
Was there anything new that was said?
I know. Damn, he really wanted that beret hat on. He had them headphones
Hey.
on top of it. Yeah.
So she want to talk about my beret hat. This is the girl who's talking about what I'm wearing, this, that, and the third, how mad it's getting her, my beret hat, this, that, and the third, what, you know what I'm saying? Why am I so shiny? She's making all these jokes about my skin, this, that, and the third. And this is how she came up there.
I'm gonna be real.
And now this is Krista. Drone White. Drone, yeah, I might as well say Drone White. That's catchy. Drone number 2, Krista. Listen to what she said, contradicting herself. Same way Stephanie White does. The drones just, they flock together. You know, drones together, fly together.
I didn't watch that shit, so I have no clue.
You didn't watch it, but if I recall, you just said he was just recycling things he heard on X. How would you know that if you didn't watch? Oh my God, that's so interesting to me. It's not clicking.
I'm gonna be real.
And you can't say you watched other YouTubers because this, when I recorded this was literally hours after my live just ended.
I didn't watch that shit, so I have no clue.
A few moments later.
He just recycled like shit that was already talked about on X.
Which one is it, Krista? Y'all don't even know how to get your own story straight. Y'all look just like the Indiana Fever, to be honest. Y'all just make it saying one thing and saying another thing and not realizing how they contradict each other. You see the difference between me, I say something and I stand on it until I see something that may change my opinion. And as a grown man, I'm going to take accountability and say, guys, this is how I used to see it. And this is what made me see it. Like I'm showing y'all right now. I was pro Stephanie White, pro front office. Yeah, get them. They picking up everybody. They're doing this. I'm on camera saying this. Don't dare call me a clickbait YouTuber because you discredited me when you do that. And you're going to do it anyways. But people who actually got the time and who care enough to go back and look on my channel, they can see, nah, Venom was definitely on the pro side. Venom was doing this the whole season. Venom ain't say nothing. Why would Venom switch all of a sudden? Because Venom is he's learning stuff as he's going along. Like, whoa, this was happening. Whoa, oh my gosh, she said this way. How did I not hear that? Oh, this. It's all clicking to me. And y'all seeing it in real time. It's like Caitlin Clark all over again. When I met her, I went back into college and found Caitlin Clark's history. Like, oh, Caitlin was been doing that. Oh, she was booed over here. She played in Kinnick. Oh, she did this, a game winner there. This, y'all are watching me learn in person. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's keep going though. We ain't gonna personally attack them. We better than that.
He just recycled like shit that was already talked about on X.
Oh, we still going.
I never watch his stuff though.
Oh, I never watch his stuff. Oh man, Krista, you're just funny. You're hilarious.
Hey, he said, and my sources, Ozzy on X.
She said, now she's lying on me again, saying I said my source was Ozzy on X. Let me move my camera to the right so I can replay y'all my last Friday clip of me specifically saying Ozzy is not my source. Let's run it back. And no, Ozzy did not give me no inside information for anybody who's alluding to anything.
Hey, he said, and my source is Ozzy on X.
And no, Ozzy did not give me no inside information for anybody who's alluding to anything. For anybody who's alluding to anything. I even made sure to disclaim that. And you guys still ran with it like the drones you are. You can't make this up. 2 drones going at it. It's just beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's continue. Now, Kyla, once again, I need someone. Pay attention to Kyla's tweet. I need someone. I remember this tweet. I got flooded this day. I need someone who really knows ball to sit and break down Fever film with me to teach me like I want to know more. Kyla, I got thousands of people who would tell you I'm not biased when it comes to the game. As much as I love a player, I will break down the game fairly. You even got, shout out to Jenny for saying Venom. And then she's not the only one. There's more people. And what does Kyla say when she's trying to learn about the basketball? She brings personal relationships into it. She says, nah, we are fighting right now. I love Lexi, but the propaganda gotta stop. So the fact that you wouldn't even want to learn from somebody just because y'all not seeing eye to eye says so much about you as a person. But let's continue though, right? Let's continue to move on. Anyways, What else she said? This is the comments right here, right? Let's go through the comments together. Watch Venom, right? Watch Venom on YouTube, Venom, right? Oh, Kyla, why are you ignoring all these comments, right? Oh, Venom on YouTube, right? Still going, but you ignoring all these comments just because me and you don't see eye to eye about Lexi Holt. Okay, cool. Anyways, let's move on. We're still going at the drones, yeah. So she said, never trust an MF with a beret on. Still going at my appearance, still going at what I'm wearing. They can't talk, like V said. Ask everybody, what do they disagree with? Nobody came with a single shred of evidence to disagree with any. All they say, he's lying. He's saying this. He's saying that. But nobody's coming with proof to debunk anything I'm saying. And by the way, I'm saying these are my opinions anyways. I'm just showing you how I formulated my opinions. But let's continue though, right? Like, there's so much more to talk about. Oh my gosh. I keep getting jump scared by that one. Okay, anyways, this is where Kyla was fighting the alleged homophobic allegations. Then you should have just said to stop sexualizing players, a specific group, for a reason. It was unnecessary because whether you meant it or not, it came off as homophobic. Kyla, as you can see, deleted the tweet. So I'm not going to address this. I'm not going to bring it up. Even if I get it, I'm not going to do that because it is what it is. But this just shows the kind of the kind of person that she is. She gets emotional and she attacks players no matter what you do, no matter what. She attacks anybody, okay? But let's continue, though. The drones must come to an end. After today, you will see the drones are done. CC22 report, another guy. Shout out to Miley, by the way, who disagreed with me on the platform as well. I seen Miley's tweets disagreeing with me, but Miley kept it respectful. I can take somebody disagreeing with me as long as they're respectful about it. When you personally attack me, that shows me a lot about you. But anyways, let's talk about this, right? So Miley went to X and posted something that she agreed with me with, right? I don't know if you're not a girl or not, Miley. I apologize if you're not. But says Stephanie White, 1 point. Venom, 3. So CC22 report. I want you guys to pay attention for him on the timeline. Another drone says, who cares? Look for these words, by the way, guys. Cares, feels, you know. Look for those, the emotions. People tie their emotions to stuff, right? So Miley says, I'm trying not to be biased. I want to hate this video, but he's bringing a good defense. So 22's report was, he could have a million good points, but that doesn't make the video worthwhile. It's a fruitless discussion. So that right there lets you know it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I do. I could come with all the evidence. It's a fruitless discussion in this person's point of view. Don't take it from my words. This person said it themselves. He could have a million good points, but that doesn't make the video worthwhile. It's a fruitless discussion. Let's continue though, right? I understand he's gimmicky. One thing I could definitely say is I'm gimmicky. I know how to make a moment, okay? But let's move on. You know what I'm saying? That's me being accountable. I know myself. I know how to get attention, right? So right here, wearing a lame 1965 hat and a vest to sell the grift. Pathetic. Like, you just got to go along the timeline. Oh, by the way, CC22 report said something and deleted it, which we'll pull up in a couple seconds. As you can see, we'll get to it real soon. So, Assassin, another one. I too have more reliable information about sources that absolutely want to be named in public about the relationship between Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark. Another person who's called people out their names. Emotional guy. I don't even know who this guy from a hole in the wall, but I gave him the attention that he wanted. I'm just putting him on the screen. Here you go, Attaching, because you, Assassin, you've been on my timeline all year. Every time I say something, you got something to disagree with me about. Nobody really cares, bro. I'm going to just be honest with you, bro. Let it go. As a grown man, it gets to a point where you just got to let things go. Oh, Venom is not giving me the attention. Venom is not doing this. Let it go, brother. Okay? But anyways, Assassin says, Venom, can you stop spreading venom? You're becoming the negativity. Boo effing who? Caitlin Clark is held to a higher standard than Odyssey Sims. Who knew? Well, Assassin, if you was listening, it wasn't that Caitlin Clark was held to a higher standard. It's the fact that Odyssey Sims shot 1 for 10 and had a huge stinker. And Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, had an amazing game, 32-point near triple-double. But both were praised differently. One was criticized and one was praised. I don't understand how that makes sense, but let's continue though anyways, right? Let's continue. We're not done. So, Assassin went to the name calling, the drone tactic. Sounds like a you-know-what to me, right? It's cool. We'll continue. I'm not even going to pay no mind. We're above that, chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give that no time. So, Kyla, the two drones, we got a drone link up now. Kyla says he did a whole bunch of reaching. Assassin says, bro, probably dislocated a shoulder. I'm telling you. Do you guys notice there's not 1 point being proven? They're not saying, how could he say this? How did he say that? And I got proof that this happened. I got proof that that happened. Like, there's literally no way that these drones just go to name calling and just a personal attacks, you know? But anyways, let's continue, though. Let's continue. Let's continue. By the way, y'all, these are the CC fans. The CC fans that other fan bases talk about and say that Caitlin Clark fans are disgusting, I'm starting to realize it's the drones that go and attack other people, because the Caitlin Clark fans who really cares about Caitlin Clark and is not biased for the front office or anything, they are not the ones that are attacking people. Now, honestly, I'm not saying there's no bad apples, but I'd rarely ever come across a genuine CC fan who is a nasty person. It's these drones, and they all unite together. You don't notice the drones stick together and the CC fans are together? Let's continue. Let's continue. So, look what I said. He used to be one of the good ones, right? But that YouTube money, man, God, last time I checked, I'm not rich. I'm not rich, so I don't know what like YouTube money. Like I genuinely don't understand. But you know, that's the narrative. They gotta say, oh, YouTubers, the YouTube. You know what they gotta say, right? Like it's easy to do that with the huge YouTubers and stuff. You don't do that for upcoming YouTubers. Talking about money, what money? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? We're trying to make it to that next level. But anyways, Assassin went on to even lie and say facts. At a point, Lexi's mom had to try and calm him down, which has never happened. I don't know where they're pulling this out from. I don't know what sources he have. He knows more about me than me. This is genuinely insane. But let's move on. I'm not even going to give him no attention no more. I want to talk about Michael, another drone, Sir Dweeb. This is actually a guy that's good friends with Rosalina Lee. Michael Sir Dweeb. The name checks out for sure, Sir Dweeb. But he says he's bottom 3 in CCFC. By the way, this is Krista, once again, the drone, saying, I'm going to keep it a buck. If you guys believe anything that MacGyver wannabe said yesterday on his live that he got his from his goated source, Ozzy on X, if you know, you know, then I have a country I would like to sell you. When I clearly said that's not my source, and even said that on the live, but this drone wouldn't even know that. I mean, but they did say AI kind of can't separate sarcasm. You know, AI doesn't really isn't able to differentiate those kind of things, tonality and stuff like that. So I can understand why a drone like Krista wouldn't understand that I specifically said Ozzy was not my source. But let's continue though, chat. Let's continue. Michael Sir Dweeb, welcome to the roast session. Says he's bottom 3 in CCFC. By the way, this is the same guy who went live with Rosalina, and the Hall of Famers kind of ran him out. Oh yeah. I seen it live. The comments was like, where's Venom? The comments was like, he's boring. His microphone is trash. What is he talking about? Oh yeah, I saw you. You didn't think I was watching. I seen the comments, my brother. I seen them run you out. You were. Let's continue. I'm not even going to include all of that in there. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know I'm one of the leaders in the Steph White FC. Sir Dweeb says I'm one of the leaders of the Steph White FC. I have never seen somebody say I am a leader of the Steph White FC. I've never seen that. Is this the same guy who called the team with Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull minimal ingredients? Yeah, I said it. He called Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, a team with those players, minimal ingredients. Let's continue though. Let's see what this brother got going on, because everybody just want to be know-it-alls. Everybody knows everything. This is what the Steph White FC looks like. All face, no ears. Let's continue though. Oh yeah, we on all of them. We on them all. Y'all didn't think I had a special segment saved for you drones, because y'all just don't get it. Y'all want to bully everybody. Now let's bring y'all on a bigger platform. Let's give you all the eyes that you guys want. Now y'all got the platform. Go say what y'all got to say. You know, you got Michael saying Steph White been cooking with minimum ingredients for weeks and still producing good meals. We need to wake it up. Oh my gosh. After we already yeah, the drones is just, they like minimal ingredients is crazy for one, right? A team with 2 of the top 10 MVP finalists. He's calling minimal ingredients. A team that went to the second round. He's calling minimal ingredients. Like we don't got Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston and cooking. Lexi Hull for the defense and the sniper. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm not even gonna continue to harp on that too much. Let's continue. We got all the time in the world for the drones, right? Because I want you guys to see him. He doesn't have CCFC in his name. Everybody has CCFC. No. He made sure to go on his own way. Fever FC. Steph White FC. He's not pro Caitlin Clark at all. He's not. You can look through his tweets. This guy right here, this brother right here, you see him on your timeline, he's not pro Caitlin Clark. But let's continue though. I know, brother. Listen, brother. I understand, right? He said, I used to be more a part of the CCFC group, so they kept tabs on me. Used to. Not now, not currently. Used to. Guys, you cannot take this drone seriously. He's literally telling us what he is. He's literally telling us he's not CCFC. He's not pro Caitlin. You're literally going out your way to say this. I've never said I used to be a part of the Steph White FC and I'm not no more. No, I still like Stephanie White as a person. I just don't like Stephanie White as a coach. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's continue though. Man, our timelines are somehow drastically different. This is the same exact tweet. I used to be more part of the CCFC group, so they keep tabs on me. Why are they keeping tabs on you? I don't know. Somebody said I was told Kelsey Mitchell wasn't a superstar by Fever fans. He goes to say, those aren't Fever fans. Those are Caitlin Clark obsessed folks pretending to be Fever fans. So now you're taking a jab at Caitlin Clark fans now. You don't even see what you be doing, and you wanted the platform. Now I'm going to give you the platform. You're a Caitlin Clark hater. You don't like Caitlin Clark. You like Kelsey Mitchell, and that's okay. Be a fan of who you want to be a fan of, but don't act like you want what's best for Caitlin Clark. And you're clearly pro Stephanie White when Stephanie White has shown she's clearly not pro Caitlin Clark. They're all a package deal since we talking package deals, right? Let's continue, though. We ain't even done. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more. I have never tried to piss off CCFC prior to tonight. Not going to lie. You're intentionally going out your way. Oh my gosh, look at this brother. This is the brother right here. Let's listen to what he got to say.
I think the hot hand thing is I'm not a big fan of.
I think the hot look. I think the hot hand thing, I don't know, it's not fair enough. You know, I don't believe in a hot hand. Like that's like, brother, come on, my brother. We like, let's run it back real quick. Hold on. What, like, I don't even know what this guy is saying. Like, listen, let's listen to
this. The thing is I'm not a big fan of.
He's not a fan of the hot hand. So let's show him something real quick.
Is down behind the play.
Oh,
I'm not a big fan of.
I know you ain't. You a fan of that?
I'm not a big fan of.
Oh.
Clark, another long three. She's back.
I'm not a big fan of.
You're not a big fan of it. I know you're not. You're not. You're a big fan of the Fever. You're a big fan of everything else. Yeah. I saved the whole special segment for you guys. Do you see how special you guys are? You wanted the attention. You got the attention. Dweeb. Michael Sir Dweeb. That's your name, right? We're going to call you your name. Michael Sir Dweeb. Anyways, CC22 report says nothing in the world could get me to watch that clickbaity video recently released with supposed insider info on the Fever coaching staff of Caitlin. Nothing at all, because regardless of your feelings about whether the supposed offense being run, because regardless of your feeling about whether the supposed offense being run shackles, you're supposed to say ran, but run shackles Caitlin too much or not, it doesn't. The fact of the matter is the coach and will remain the coach until Caitlin says so. You may think Caitlin Clark is being suffocated or ruined or whatever other adjective you want to use, but she doesn't feel that way, and that's really all that matters. When we clearly saw Caitlin Clark does feel that way. We clearly saw Caitlin flail her hands, call football with Natasha Howard, subliminally talk about it in interviews, and made sure to reference and, reiterate, like, no, I'm talking about for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue, though. Anyways, let's continue. This is the same guy right here, by the way, who said this about Caitlin Clark and tried to delete it. Oh, yeah, he thought... I love the internet. Oh, I love the internet so much. Oh, my goodness. You guys don't understand how many sources I have. People will pull up anything of you. What you say can and will be used against you. He says, F off, Caitlin. Absolutely unbelievable. Once again, now the game is lost. Now you take it to the rack and get the free throws. Now you do what you could have done every single possession of the second half. Unreal. How are you telling your favorite player to F off? How can you talk about this? How can you talk about Caitlin Clark like this, knowing what she carries, knowing what she does on the floor, knowing that she's being confined to the Stephanie White system? You're going to blame Caitlin Clark for what Stephanie White is telling her to do? See, you're one of you see it the way we see it, but you're going to blame Caitlin for it, which means anything but Stephanie White is the problem. This is drone mentality for you guys. Telling Caitlin to F off. This is not crazy to you guys? Oh my goodness. Let's continue though, chat. I can't believe these are the fans. He thought he could get away with deleting this. No, brother, I got you in 4K. Now there's thousands of people that saw this. Let's see you try to delete this. Anyways, let's move on. So you see him say nothing in the world could get me to watch that. I don't even care. No. We're not even giving him no more attention, chat. We're genuinely not. So, in conclusion, guys, what did you guys learn? Y'all learned a lot today. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely the end of the live. I'm on a troll run. Oh, yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I'm going to call it now, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely... Let me see what's going on here. Let's go over some super chats real quick, man. You guys have been amazing. We got Debasa saying, great job last week. I appreciate you so much, Debasa. Live Wire coming in here. Stay cooking. Shout out to Live Wire. Make sure y'all go follow Live Wire as well. El Professor Official. I appreciate you so much with the $10 super sticker. Doesn't even leave a comment, just showing love. You got Pamela saying thank you, Venom, for all your hard work and speaking facts. Pamela, thank you guys so much for the support. Without that, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'm not somebody with no press credentials. Yeah, I'm not somebody who, you know what I'm saying, is a part of the team or anything like that. I'm literally doing this all by myself. And I wanted to say the most important thing for last. I hope you guys are ready. Oh, yeah. I got, for sure. I got something for sure, okay? Because honestly, I want to be honest with you guys. I'm genuinely disappointed. Somebody close to me did something, and I can't even sit still thinking about it. Somebody, listen, man. I'm disappointed to find out somebody that I helped switched up on me. Went behind my back just to earn brownie points with them people. I'm not even going to say a name. You know who you are. Just make sure you don't call me. Make sure you don't text me. I can't trust people who will do anything for money or approval. I think people forget, I genuinely say that this is serious. I genuinely think that people forget. I got eyes and ears everywhere. Everything gets back to me or I find out on my own. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm going to be honest. For even like investing in somebody who would turn around and try to cash out on my embarrassment and thinking I wouldn't find out. You got a direct line of communication. It's different if you don't know me, if you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's different. But when you got a direct line of communication with me, if you got a problem or if you disagree with something I say, you could tell me straight, you know? But you go behind my back to people who don't even care about you like that, thinking I wouldn't find out. That's crazy in my opinion. That's genuinely crazy. I'm not going to get into details because I know how this thing is going to spiral out. But this is me literally standing on my ground. I don't want this person. I don't want you to call you. I know you're going to watch it because you watched the last one. Don't call my phone. Don't text me. Stay on your side. I'm going to stay on my side. I seen everything you did, and I played a blind eye long enough, and I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at that. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I do appreciate you guys so much. Let's go through some more super chats. Like, genuinely, guys, like, shit like that ass hurt. Like, I don't understand. Like, when you build real bonds with people, and I'm not even going to get emotional on that, but, like, when you build a bond with somebody and you doing shit out of love and you willing to go all out for people, people would dead ass slime you and go behind your back and do all this funny money stuff. And it's like, for what though? Like, what? Why? Like, it's like a constant circle in my life. Every time I let people in, people just show me how weird they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never give that to people. Why do people come around me and want to be weird all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? And I play stupid to this shit for so long, but it gets to a point where it's like, all right, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, shout out to Grade A Jamaican. Expose these drones. They can go with Sniffany. Oh my gosh. I appreciate you, Grade A, and Douglas Myers with the $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Douglas. But listen, guys, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It doesn't stop here, all right? It definitely don't stop here. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be alone for a while. Who knows? I don't even care at this point. I don't know. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. If this don't work out because I chose to be real and be myself, and you see everybody else with each other collabing and doing all these other stuff, I promise to God I'm 100% fine with that. I don't care if I got the lowest numbers. I don't care. I promise you I don't. As long as I get to be Venom, my integrity stay intact. When I take this shirt off, I got the same heart under. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I do got the best supporters in the world, so I'm pretty sure I'm good. Sir Jax with the 5, thank you so much. Venom, do a live chat on CC Tells. I noticed how to drags the pork chop on the pick and roll to entice the puppies to follow with her stiff left arm. Wait, what do you mean CC Tells? On the pick and roll to entice the puppies to follow with us. Oh, you mean like when she keep them in jail on the pick and roll? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, chat, we're gonna get up out of here. Like, I'm honestly, like, I tried, like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna say no names or nothing, but I'm tired of being like, I'm tired. Like, when like, I don't know what message God is trying to send me. I don't know nothing, man. Like, it's so weird to me because, like, people be knowing me. We have conversations, like, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, you know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, why? For these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, that. I always say if that's all it took, I'm glad that's all it took. Like, I always say that to people. Like, when people do stuff to me, I'd be like, if that's all it took, I'm glad that's all it took. Because thank God I'm not somewhere on a different level when this kind of thing happened. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Can you show us your soundboard setup and how you know which one to click so fast? Y'all guys want to see my soundboard setup? Let me show y'all. Listen, I don't hide game from nobody. So this is like what I used to like zoom in and stuff like that. Let me show you. Hold on. So like this is what I used to like zoom in and stuff. I got like my little hotkeys and stuff. Like if I want to zoom in, you know what I'm saying, scroll around. I got all my sounds. Y'all want to see the picture for the sound? I don't know if y'all can see all of them. You know what I'm saying? We got the C22. Where's C22 at? We got C22 over here. C22. You know what I'm saying? We got Ariel. Who this? Flash. Is this Lexi? No, this is John. Who this?
Welcome to Whole Island.
We got all of our sounds. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, go for a walk, Venom. Oh yeah, I'm definitely about to leave. I'm about to leave. I gotta get out the house. Like, it took a lot to come up here and just like even hint at that. But I just don't want like no questions if we covering this next year. Like, I don't want no people asking this, that, and the third. Nip it in the bar right now. I'm too real for the fake shit. If you fake, stay away from me. You know what I'm saying? Go do what you got to do. I wish everybody the best in life. You know what I'm saying? That's not me saying, oh, I'm wishing for the worst for somebody. Nah, I still wish for the best in everybody. I want you to thrive. I want to see everybody doing well. Just stay away from me with that fake stuff. Like, it do something to my spirit. You know what I'm saying? I like people all smiles. I like people. And if you disagree with something, call my phone. There's people. Look, let me tell y'all something, chat. I'm so much of an upstanding guy. There's somebody who attacked me personally that I went and DM'd and we had a conversation that I could have put up here today. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm that kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call you. I'm going to text your phone and say like, why are you talking like that? I don't like how you did that. I don't like how you did that. The person I spoke to said, Venom, I appreciate you for coming to me because you had all rights to expose me online. Literally told me, thank you for coming to me. Like, not, I'm paraphrasing right now. Thank you for coming to me because you could have, instead of just going to the internet and saying all these things, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of guy I am. If I know you, I'm going to talk to you. Not go behind your back. Not try to slime you. Not do this. Not do that. But it is what it is, y'all. I got the realest supporters around me. I don't know what's going to happen after this as well. This could get taken down. It's still the same risk. But one thing I do know this week is that I have my supporters behind me. I have Fever supporters behind me as well, who's opening their perspective as well. And this is 2 hours long, man. Like, the fact that we making 2 hours with all of this is genuinely and crazy, you know? But anyways, chat, I love you guys. So do the take 3, buddy, just for the culture. Why not, man? Why not?
Take 3, buddy.
Oh, man, I love everybody. My Dub Nation, everybody. And that's another thing. Like, I got my NBA supporters on the side as well. Like, y'all got to understand, fake is not going to last long. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole world can kind of see what I'm doing. I got fan bases from all different franchises and organizations that love me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that, to me personally, nothing I tell myself could amount to the way y'all show me love. I could tell myself anything, but the way y'all show me love tells me everything I need to know about myself. The way y'all hold me accountable tells me everything I need to know myself. I'm not perfect. I done said nasty things myself. Not intentionally, but I've said nasty things, and I took accountability for that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Tahina Pow situation at the draft night when I was like, what is she wearing, right? Making jokes. And then I found out that's her culture. What did I do as a grown man? I took accountability and said, Venom, you can't be doing that because you don't know what these people wearing. You don't know what these people, where they come from. And I learned from that situation. I was giving Stephanie White in the front office praise, this, that, and the third. What happened? I learned what happened, and I took accountability for not being aware of what was going on. And now I'm never going to do that. I'm going to pay attention more now, right? That's accountability. That's growth. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I'm growing a core fan base, a core support system, I like to say, because they genuinely see I wear my heart on my sleeve. The only time I don't wear my heart on my sleeve is to protect somebody else. When I'm playing dumb about something somebody's trying to do towards me, and all of y'all calling it out, Venom, watch your back, Venom this, Venom that. I'm acting like I ain't seeing the comments. I don't want to start. Listen, I don't want to start nothing. But it gets to a point where you do that one thing where it's like, yeah, I can't trust you. I can't. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't trust you, I can't be around you. Anyways, we got some more super chats. Dame with the $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Dane. T Rosa with the super sticker. Oh, with the super chat saying Venomite always. I love you guys so much. All right, we getting out of here for real this time. I know John the Liquidator lift you up. Found you base. Yeah, shout out to John the Liquidator. Well, shout out to all my creators who standing up. Shout out to John the Liquidator. Shout out to Keep the Vision. Let's shout out some real channels. You know what I'm saying? John the Liquidator. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. Keep the Vision. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. I haven't connected with him yet, but if y'all want to see that happen, let me know. Who else is another one? Shout out to Ben Daniels. Shout out to Mick. I'm pretty sure I'm missing more people. There's a lot of creators in this space I respect, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Like, even creators who I might not see eye to eye with, like a Rachel Demeter. I'm pretty sure she don't agree with nothing I say here, but Rachel Demeter is cool as hell. I don't want nobody spreading hate her way because why? She's one of the real ones. You know what I'm saying? Not going behind my back to do certain things. You disagree with me, it's cool. But you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying she does. I'm just saying using her as an example. That's what the type of people I respect. People who don't try to go behind my back and give me a public betrayal. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, listen, y'all. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Love KTV. And let them know we got to work that, man. Listen, man. All right, we out of here for real now. Y'all going through what's crazy with the lie. I love y'all so much. We out of here. I'll see you guys next Friday, 5 p.m. sharp. Make sure you're out there. Hold on. Let's see how many subs we lost today. Let me pull a sub counter up. How many subs we lost today? Let me see. Where the sub counter up? Here we go. 876. Ooh, okay. Hey. Okay. We went up a little 17. You know what I'm saying? Is that 17? Wait, what was it? 86? No, that's 18 if that was 86. All right, chat. Listen. We close to 29.9 and we closing in on 30K. What a way to go into 30K, man. You know what I'm saying? Mature 30s. We're going to hit our 30s a little more mature. That's what we're going to call it, the 30s. We're going to hit our 30s a little more mature. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to see you angry now because you saved me from that anger and kept me here because of your love of the game and beautiful breakdowns. Thank you so much, Melinda. But anyways, guys, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Stay real, stay authentic, wear your heart on your sleeve. It's your boy Venom. I love you guys so much. So watch out for the drones. EMP on the way. We out of here. Peace, baby.